we are back. So, before we go too far, let's remind us what has got us here. First off, let me introduce myself. I am DMBABT. I am the creator of this campaign as well as the world and everybody in it. And I have 5 wonderful players who will introduce themselves here in just a moment, and then they'll introduce their characters as they play in our first session, which is going to start right with combat because this has been going on for a while. This is not the first session. This is YouTube's first session. So hi YouTube, nice to see you.
Hi YouTube.
Let's start with John. Tell us about you.
So my character, his name is Aoth. He's a human warrior. He is a blacksmith who is very proficient at what he does and recently discovered that he may be heir to a throne, so he's trying to take that thing back.
Wonderful. Kenny?
I'm Kenny. I'm playing Blitzkrieg, a Dry Queen artificer, and he is in search of a holy artifact of his hive, which was stolen by some Hadozi and fleshlings in this world. And once I find them, I'll kill them.
All right, let's go to Tom.
Hello, I'm Tom. I'm playing Reek, the Aarakocran barbarian, descendant of a wealthy clan from a land far off, and just trying to find a good time.
Just want a party, man.
Next, let's go to Pete.
Rin Ratal, who is he looks like an elf, but he is not yet to be revealed, I believe, to everybody. Anyways, he is a cleric. He's got some pretty cool stuff. He's got a weapon with him that somehow talks to him, and a moorbounder named Mordekaiser. So that he likes to ride around and have some fun with.
Good boy.
He was previously a quote-unquote merchant, went around, had a mutiny, decided to join up with his crew.
This is your time for the joke. You can make the joke now. This is episode 1. Go ahead.
Not when I'm prompted. I mean, Rick and Morty may have to come out later. But
lastly, Nick.
I played Temin, the Flame Rogue, who is escaping a dodgy past. No pun intended. Sorry, that one slipped out. Wants to see the world. Wants to take care of himself. If it's convenient, he'll help others too. But yeah, just seeing the world this crazy wild takes him.
He just wants people to give him a chance, man, in this life, you know. It ain't all bad. That was good wine.
Wonderful. And so through some help from a wizard named Reinwald and a trip upriver, you guys managed to go into the Apadora Empire, which is typically a human country, so to speak. It's just more of a large region of land under the same rule. But there are a lot of other races here, including tieflings, demons, Duragar. But humans are the main holder of this population, and they are the ruling class. After a very, very brief stay in Westray, where a couple of our players, who will remain unnamed for now, though I'm sure they will come up later, managed to kill a couple of guards only days after coming to this city, and have just now done a jailbreak thanks to a circus performers who all seem to work for a group of rebels coming from the Blacklands. And we are now on our journey rushing to this location where these rebels take fortress when something begins to rumble the desert sands. And as one Blitzkrieg walks away from the camp in the morning to go find some provisions, you see a mound rolling to you. And we are going to jump right into initiative, which I have already had my players roll, but I need to get those initiatives. So,
What is that?
25 to 20.
That's me.
That's me. 22.
21.
All right, so we have Rin at 22. We have Aoth at 21. 20 to 15.
19.
We have Temin at 19. And we have
17.
17 for Reek. And lastly, Blitzkrieg.
I got a 9.
9.
As I am. As I was foraging, looking for stuff, something in the ground caught my eye, about to catch it, and then I hear a rumble in the distance. Like, what is that?
And
I
your
look at it.
DM, being as prepared as always, has forgotten to roll for the other people with you, which are the very few remaining circus folk, as most of them were killed rescuing you. But we do have one Wonus, who has revealed himself to be an astral elf looking for the same artifact Blitzkrieg is looking for. And he rolls a 13. We also have one. I'm trying to see who's next here. I think it's Ma. Yep. We have one Ma Greernaz, who is a human cleric, as well as an artificer, as well as rogue. She is a master of many things. And she rolls a 7. And lastly, we have a full-blown artificer by the name of Iliad. And she is a dark fae, wrapped up with a greenish headdress. But she herself rolled a 14. So let me now bring us to our battle map so that you all may see where we are in the desert. So we have each of our players here. As you, the viewers, can see my mouse, I'm going to circle some people. So this is Blitzkrieg. We have Reek, Temin, Rin, Aoth, the Moorbounder, and then we have our Astral Elf Wonus, our Dark Fae, Iliad, and Ma Greernaz in the dark black hair here. And we have the pleasure of a couple, or not a couple, but one enemy over here. We're gonna center that right about there. And you guys were alerted to this, as those on watch were able to see this. So Rin, you do know that you see a rumbling of dirt. You have not specifically seen this creature yet, but it is a rumbling of dirt coming towards you guys in that direction. So Rin, what would you like to do?
Rin tells his Moorbounder to stay put, and he moves. So he's going to go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. He's going to move that way. And Rin is going to cast...
Did it explode out of the ground yet?
It has not. It
Mm.
is still underground.
rumbling
I just don't have an underground. I should have met, better DM would have had an underground burial movement piece that he could have done.
Okay.
You know what? In fact, let's be that better DM.
Mm.
Let's do it. You see rumbled ground right about there. Is that better? Now, now you're immersed.
Damn, I am so immersed right now. Shit. Okay. Yeah. The ground be rumbling, man.
All right, Rin, what are you casting?
3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna move up next to him
Aye.
and end his turn.
Well, I mean, since this is YouTube's first chance of seeing you, what does Rin look like as he does his mad dash forward to do nothing?
Yeah. So again, Rin looks kind of like an elf, but he's not. He is a grave domain cleric. It's kind of dark and light looking. Kind of covers both aspects of it, and yeah, long white hair. Kind of a darkness and a light energy around him. Yeah.
All right. And did you use your full action to move there, or just your movement?
Full action as well.
Okay. So do you? Okay. So all
So
you can have
action
is a
dash.
bonus. Okay. Great. Next up,
Yep.
we have. Oh, and by the way, for the map, those of you, the cracked ground is walkable. It's just difficult terrain. The solid areas is like sandstone walls within this desert. So those would be unwalkable. You would have to climb them.
Okay.
I would say about 15 to 20 feet high. That's how high these are. All right. With that then being the case, after Rin, we have Aoth.
Let's see.
So as you think,
I am
what does
also
Aoth
gonna
look like? What is Aoth being, what is Aoth doing this morning that he then sees this and does? Paint us a picture.
So when he catches eye of the rumbling and the other two moving toward it, he draws his sword and dashes straight away with his desert giant cloak billowing in the wind as he runs toward that patchy area here.
All right. Go, and I'm assuming you're moving him on the...
Yep, moving him. I just had to count. I'm not Asian, so it took a while to do that math.
Ouch.
Funny story. I almost got left back from high school because I couldn't do algebra.
Oh, that's...
I'm really bad at math. I've never
Sure.
taken calculus ever.
For those of you who do not know,
Thank God.
the races of our players, Aoth, not Asian, Blitzkrieg, Asian. For any of you interested, I am very good at math and I am white. Not that it matters. All right, moving on. So let's go ahead and
just get some racism going off the bat.
Section
That's
1 on
no
YouTube.
racism.
This is what we wanted, folks. We wanted there to be some edgy content. All right. Next up we have Temin.
Yeah. Mine is Aoth, and my pronouns are... Oh, wait. Never mind, it's not my turn.
That's not a pronoun.
Also, it is your turn. Did you describe your character like I asked you to, or did we just...
I did. I did the billowing in the wind and
sorry,
the...
I remember. I'm so attentive. Temin.
Ruined my speaking of edges.
Damn.
God.
Temin is a was trying to cozy up to the other rogue in the current party. In our current camp, when he sees that rumbling, everybody focusing, he is going to, with a very half measure, run towards it. 2, 3, 4, 5. In his dark little traveling cloak, as he passes Reek, he's gonna go, get me on top of one of those cliffs.
All right. So with that, so that's just your movement. Are you doing anything with your action?
I'm going to hold my action, and I am going to, if I see something pop out that's aggressive, I'm gonna shoot it with a bow.
All right.
I mean an arrow. I'm gonna shoot the arrow with my bow at the thing.
Wonderful. Okay, so you're holding your action there. Next up then is Reek.
Okay. Reek is a tall, athletically built Aarakocra with reddish brown feathers and golden eyes. And as I start flying towards the creature, when I get to Temin, I grab him and lift him.
Ah, that's so heroic.
And, oh wait, that's half distance from that point. That's 15. Quick math.
You can always
20
eat him.
foot left. I
You
have
can
20
eat him
foot
if,
left of movement.
if it's too far, just like yeet.
I don't know if I'm going to pick him up. I'd rather just fly into combat. Temin, you're on your own.
Oh shit.
He flies by and says, "No."
Not
See
today.
ya.
Not today, son.
It's going to take at least 2 turns to get back in after that. So I fly past, and I will take the dodge action.
Dodgy.
I ready myself, watching keenly for what may come, and brace myself to dodge.
All right. Wonderful. Next up is Iliad, who again is a dark fae, kind of green, very dusty robes now from the desert travel that they've been doing for the last day and a half. Has kind of a very greasy kind of turban on her head with a greenish gem. She's going to go ahead and see you guys all running towards the danger. Not do that. And kind of move maybe up here behind Temin. And she's going to go ahead and look over at Temin and go, "What are you all doing? You're just running at that thing? What is it?"
I don't know, but I think we're going to find out.
"Well, are you going to attack it?"
I mean, eventually, probably.
I mean, it rumbled in our direction.
Yeah, unless that's a 4-course feast rumbling underneath the desert sands that is apparently very violent and mean to anybody who tries to walk in it, which I doubt.
She goes, "Fine,
We're
fine."
probably gonna
And you
attack
watch
it.
as she like pulls out of her cloak like a small metal box, and she sets it down, and you watch as all of a sudden like legs spring out and this like mini turret pops up. And she goes, "Okay, I'll watch out from here." So she created her Eldritch Cannon, which takes an action. And then as a bonus action, she is going to cast Sanctuary on you, Temin. So Sanctuary is that for a minute, you ward a creature within range until that spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must first make a Wisdom save. And then if it failed, it must choose a new target. So you are essentially untargetable without a Wisdom save for a minute unless you attack, and then it is gone.
I can do that too.
Sounds groovy.
Well, you didn't though. And you watch as she kind of begins to do the sanctuary. It's less of magic and more of just kind of mechanics. And she essentially does this thing where she creates like a mirage out of the front of you, where essentially it kind of creates like a mirrored effect. So she kind of like drapes this kind of like shawl over you where you can see through it, but seeing through the other way is kind of very reflected, giving you kind of a little bit of cover. That is the end of her turn. Let me make her little turret here real quick. X marks the spot. Okay, and next up is Wonus, who is going to hustle into the fight. Again, this is an astral elf of sorts, so kind of same elven features, just kind of purplish and teals, kind of radiating off various tattoos on his body. He's just wearing a cut-off tank top. Again, very shaggy, silvery hair. Knife thrower typically has a hat on, but in this heat does not. Is going to go ahead and move 10, 15, 20, 25 over here. We're going to go ahead and delete that. And then he is going to go ahead and hold his... first, he's going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Aoth. And he's going to go, "All right now, King, we can't have you dying out here. So be safe, all right?" So you have a D6 for the next 10 minutes for a ability check, attack roll, or a saving throw. and then he is going to hold his action to throw a dagger at whatever comes out of that shithole. Next up is Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg, okay. Blitzkrieg, currently in a gray cloak with the hood currently down, kind of dusty because they've been traveling in this desert for like a while. Totally focused in front of him with this beast or whatever it is coming toward us, but he did look back temporarily when Iliad summoned her eldritch cannon and admired it from afar. But of course, he refocuses back onto the incoming creature. He is a dry green with iridescent carapace, but it changes depending on the environment, and he could always adjust to to camouflage himself. He has multiple little doodads on him. Just he loves technology and all the toys that he could get. And then he's gonna step back. First thing he's gonna do is he will put on his skull mask, and then he transforms this guy, because that's what he does when he goes into combat. And then he's gonna step back 5, 10, 15, and then he's gonna do something similar to Iliad, where he's going to put his hands on his chest and then pull out like a octopod. Is it octopod? I think that's what I said before, right?
8 legs. So that's what
8
you're
legs,
going
right?
for.
Or is it like 6 legs? What's 6 legs?
Hexapod.
Hexapod, yeah. He pulls out a hexapod, which then claps onto his arm, and then he will aim at whatever is coming toward him, and holding an action to fire the eldritch cannon whenever it emerges and is hostile.
All right.
What else? Yeah, that's it for now.
All right. And lastly, since I rolled terrible for the opposition, what's new? Ma, a young human girl, again, kind of Wednesday vibes, with like kind of short black hair, except she just has like heavy armor in the form of chains, not chainmail, literal chains that just wrap around her, that have all of these various different locks in places that she is often fiddling with. But in the moment here, as she sees everybody again running forward, she is going to
Dance.
jump.
Wednesday dance. No? Okay.
No, not quite.
Not today. Okay.
She is going to. I don't really know what she's going to do. She's perplexed. I know what she will do. She will cast Shield of Faith on Aoth, which means she has to get within that range, which is 60 feet, which she's already in. So she's then going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and move straight down here. You watch as kind of the chains kind of whip out, and they begin to turn ethereal as they kind of make their way to Aoth, and you watch as now you have the ethereal chains kind of wrapping around you, in the form of the Shield of Faith. She is then going to take the dodge action for her action. All right, which brings us to the monster's turn. So, question, Reek, are you in the air?
Technically speaking, yes, but actually just a couple feet off the air, so just enough to where I can move quickly.
A couple feet is enough for this creature not to know that you are there. However, Rin is not. So this creature is going to
tank, not tanking again.
It has tremor sense, so if you're not on the ground, it doesn't really know you're there. Oh, actually, hold on a minute though. Who is closer, Aoth or Rin? It's
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's the same.
Rollies.
It's still Rin. Okay, so he is going to come, or it is going to come up there, and what you see is as this...
Target of opportunity, as it gets within range of me, I strike it.
It's still
I
underground.
drive my cleave into the ground.
Okay, so you're gonna try and attack it through the ground, essentially.
Yeah, so seeing the motion, I'm going to plunge down with all my weight behind my cleave deep into the soil.
Okay. Not to be technical, but I want to give you your opportunity here. You could wait for it to come out, in which case you would get an easier attack, but it would attack first. Or you can try to do what you are describing, but it will have less of a chance to hit. Do you care which it is?
I do, because I would prefer to hold it back from getting to Rin, even though he bitches about everything I do.
Okay.
I'm not.
So if you were to do that, then you would get that opportunity while the creature is here. So go ahead and roll an attack.
Disadvantage, right?
Technically, it is going to be at advantage because it has no idea you are there. So this will be at advantage, but the armor class will be higher because of the cover.
Clever. Does a 17 hit?
17 does not hit. As you stab into the ground resists most of it. It's not necessarily that you didn't hit the creature, you just didn't get through the layer, like the foot layer of dirt that's over the top of this, and you feel like you may have underestimated how big this thing is, as it basically was putting off, only a little bit of dirt, but it was quite far under the ground. It then continues to right here, and it is going to jump out. Let's see here. It has... So because of the fact that you attacked it, though, it does now know that you are there. So it is going to, and you are immediately hostile to it. So as it bursts through the ground, it has an ability, which, by the way, this is a bullet. And I would say anybody with proficiency in nature, especially Blitzkrieg, would know what a bullet is because they're very common in the Grim Wastes.
Yes.
But it basically gets to the surface, sees where the attack came from, as it does have vision outside of the ground, and is going to use its standing deadly leap, which means that it can leap up to 30 feet high. And so it is basically going to shoot out above you and come down on top of you. Rin, this would give you an attack of opportunity if you would like to take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
4 plus 4, 8. Does 8 hit?
8 does not hit. So you watch as,
All
again, he shoots out of the ground. And again, this thing is basically just like massive hind legs on what looks like an armored shark jaw. And it just shoots up into the air far above Eurik. And as it comes down, it is going to go ahead and make its deadly leap, which means that any creature that is within, I think it's 15 feet. Hold on. Double checking here.
Too far.
No, it's perfect. It's anything that's within its space. So he's going to go there. And it basically can get both of you based on the size of this image. And so you either need to make a strength or a dex save, your choice. But both of you need to do so.
22. And would I have advantage since I took dodge or nah? Since I hit at it.
No, you still have the ability to have dodge, but this is not an attack, and therefore dodge does not affect this. But you do succeed, so you will take half damage from what is to come. Rin?
Not 20 for a 22.
You also succeed, so you guys will both take half damage, which makes sense because you guys are right at the edge of this range. You guys are easily kind of able to get out of the way. Out of curiosity, who chose strength, dex?
I chose Dex.
I also chose dex.
So you both kind of nimbly dodge out of the way. However, based on the shock essentially from this leap as it comes down, as it is heavy, you're still going to take 13 bludgeoning halved to 6 and 18 slashing halved to 9.
So 15 damage in total.
I did not do the math there. So
9 plus 6, I'm assuming.
that's 15. So how does that make each of you look, even with your ability to dodge out?
It hurts. I'm not bloodied, but it hurts.
Okay. That is the end of its turn. It is now
Oh, wait,
up
wait.
and out, and there are
Wait.
attacks of opportunity. I know. Let's go around.
Oh,
So
okay.
Wonus is gonna go with a 17 plus 5 for 22, which will hit, and he's going to do 6 damage. Big ol' 6.
6 points of damage.
All right, and then next Blitzkrieg.
All right. Basically, like he's been holding like a bluish white charge that's just like shaking, ready to just let loose. And then it basically, once he sees the thing emerge from the ground, he lets it off, and then just giant ball of plasma just pew! Eldritch Cannon Force Ballista. Is a 21.
21 will hit.
That's going to be 13 points of force damage as it impacts its hide.
You watch as this plasma bolt explodes into the armor, kind of charring across the top of it. Definitely does quite a bit of damage, and even in these just 2 quick attacks that you guys have done against it with the dagger and this force ballista, it is definitely looking injured.
Okay.
But it is a big creature.
So telepathically, I'll probably blast out to everyone around me. Land shark. Basically, that's what he says.
Okay. And Aoth, I forget, did you hold an attack or no?
I don't know. I used my action to dash.
Okay. Rin, is your Moorbounder just chilling?
Yeah, I told him to
Just
chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an animal handling check for me, just to see how well that worked.
Is he a good boy or is he a good boy?
12.
Well.
Oh, so he's a good boy. Okay.
At the end of the round, the Moorbounder is going to rush up next to you, seeing you get injured, and is going to go ahead and make an attack. I assume you have the stats for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
That's a good boy.
So you watch as this panther, like Black Panther-like creature, kind of with a large tusked, front, or excuse me, this one's not the tusked one. The with kind of just regular things. Still has the chain on it, or did you take that off?
No, chains off.
Chains off. That's right. Just rushes up and then goes in for an attack.
Yeah, 11.
11 does not hit, as its like claws scrape across the hide, and it has 1 or 2 attacks.
It's just 1, I believe.
Okay, perfect. So you can still go back to controlling it on your turn, but it rolled a natural 1 for its interest. All right. Speaking of Rin, it's your turn.
Rin is going.
Kevin is going to interrupt Rin to use his held action.
Sorry, I didn't mean to skip. I knew somebody else had done it. I figured you'd speak up. My apologies, dude. Go ahead.
Never mind. Oh no, wait. Natural 1, but I'm lucky for a 6. 13 to hit.
13 does not hit. Your dagger?
Lucky.
No, this is shortbow.
Oh, shortbow. Your arrow kind of deflects off. You kind of get shunted to the side as the Moorbounder rushes by you. Now we are to the top of the round. Rin.
All right, Rin's standing right next to this dude.
Yeah.
And he's going to attack.
We would say, I'm sorry. As part of this ability, you get pushed
For an
5 feet
8.
back on a save. So you would be there.
That's fine. He's going to move right next to him.
Be there. So. Well, I mean, you're still right next to him, but that's what
Yeah.
it would look like, mechanics-wise.
Yeah. Oh, I am an 8. I'm assuming misses again. I'm just unable
misses. You're just like
unable to roll
its
anything.
Shell. Yeah, it's just not doing anything with that. So, were you attacking with your weapon?
Yes.
Okay. Which is a big black mace, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it? Just the 1 attack for you?
Yep.
Did you roll at advantage?
No.
You are flanking with Reek. You should roll at advantage.
Oh, okay.
So roll once more and see if it is better than your sub.
14.
It is better than your subpar roll, but it still does not hit. All right, Aoth, you are up. You're kind of in the rocks now, kind of in some difficult terrain among you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna move up to it, and poke him with a stick, and see what happens.
Okay.
I'll put Hunter's Mark on him first.
So bonus action. And what does your Hunter's Mark spell look like?
It's still kind of like that Rorschach, difficult to identify shape. Kind of in a haze, you see what might be a crown, but it's just not taking shape.
Interesting. All right. Go ahead and move your token to where you want to be moved and attack away.
All right.
Away.
So let's attack him. That's a 13 to hit.
Oh no.
13 does not hit. You guys are all just rushing this creature bravely, but you're just battering on its armor with no avail. Next up is Temin.
Temin is going to 1, 2, 3, 4 scooch on right up there. Consider flanking.
Yeah. Sure.
Wiggity wackety. I roll for attackity. 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
So this will be the long sword first, or the short sword. Everything's long to me. 10 plus 5 is 15, and then bear with me here.
Its weak points are between the carapace.
And then I'm gonna re-roll piercing damage. As a piercer, that's the feat I took. You can re-roll the piercing damage from an attack. Is that I have to re-roll all dice from the attack?
That's what it sounds like.
Nah, I did pretty good. 16 on the first
damage?
one.
Okay.
Yes.
Good attack. You sink your what are you using again?
Short sword.
Short sword. Just like under the armor, just kind of up into it, and you hear kind of it holler out in pain.
Fact. Next is dagger in my offhand. 24 to hit, which would be max of 4. I don't think I add my bonuses to that one.
You do not.
So I would be done. I'm gonna double check that, but yeah, that should
I can verify that for you. Offhand attacks do not get the modifier damages added to it. I like me some rogues. All right. So into your turn then. Reek, you're up.
So, describing as I recovered from the attack, as I attempted to dodge the shockwave, threw me off canter, sliding into the dirt, digging my heel in. I lunge forward, spreading my wings as I begin to rage.
Oh, so mad.
And then, as I skim above the ground, I reach with my glaive and upward fashion strike up across the back of the carapace. And does a 21 hit.
It does. Did you roll with advantage?
I did, assuming that everybody else got flanking.
Correct.
Okay.
Just making sure. You did.
So that is a measly 6.
No.
Oh. Well, with that,
And as I
6.
So as I uppercut through and connect, it doesn't skin as deep as I'd hoped, but as I reach up, I end up skimming about 3 or 4 feet off the ground.
Do you have reckless, or is that like some other thing?
I didn't need to reckless. Oh wait, no. Thank you. My weapon, my attack gets with advantage, so that instead is 8 damage.
Ooh.
In your head is like, all you remember is like death dealer, because that's all they call you. Like, oh, I could deal death.
Awesome. All right. With that little bit of extra damage that you put into this creature, it is beginning to bleed pretty heavily out of a wound on its side now. Next up is Iliad. Iliad is going to go ahead and, having her cannon out, is going to, it's a bonus action to use that, right? Yeah, there it is. Is it your spell casting attack?
Hmm?
Is that what it is for the attack? I can't find it on this sheet for whatever reason.
What are you talking about?
Because she's the same class that you are, Artificer.
Oh,
Archer.
it's basically a bonus action to activate your cannon. You're doing like Eldritch Cannon, Force Ballista, 120 feet range. You use your roll for
There we
DC
go.
attack.
+5 to hit. I found it. Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
+5 only.
yeah,
I know
that's-
who's the better artificer now.
yeah, you. That's a 8 to hit, which does not do so. And then they are going to go ahead and use their action to go ahead and cast. Actually, they're not going to go ahead and do that. They're just going to go ahead and move a little bit farther down, and they will take the dodge action. So go down here, leaving the cannon there, and take the dodge action. All right, next up is Wonus. Wonus rushes up, grabs the dagger out of the creature, and is going to go ahead and make a rapier attack with advantage. That is a 20 something. 21 to hit, so it will hit. That's going to be 6 plus 3 is 9 damage. And then they're going to go ahead and do an offhanded strike with the dagger that they have, that they just pulled out of the creature at advantage. Again, 21. That's just going to be a d4 for 2 more damage. All right. After Wonus, Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg. All right. He's gonna basically lift his arm up, and then like you just watch like these like kind of little tendrils like flowing with like some sort of like once again the blue white energy just coursing through into his palm, and then he's gonna target him, and then he's going to release a frost bolt actually, and it's a con 14 save.
Okay. That is a 19.
19. Oh, he saves. Okay, so I will deal. I rolled a 1, so he's gonna. I guess. What do you do
Is
that?
it a cantrip?
Like, it's a cantrip, yeah.
Cantrips don't do half damage, so it would just it was not effective. You watch as the top like of the armor begins to like gloss over with this kind of frost, but doesn't seem to have any negative effect on the creature. But again, the creature is bleeding now, and it's starting to kind of look around, a little bit panicked.
Yeah, so he's gonna look back at his like arm, is like, need some work, basically. And then he's gonna basically take his other arm, which has the Eldritch Cannon, and then like he's gonna hold him in place, and then he's going to charge up and plasma ball.
All right, roll to hit.
Where's my Pichu? And that's gonna be a 23 to hit.
That one does hit. Roll damage.
And that's gonna be 17 points of plasma force damage. He's like, yeah.
This one just full into the face of this creature, just kind of explodes in the maw, and you watch as like jagged like bits of its teeth are now like kind of skewed left and right. It's not looking great.
It's like he's just gonna look at the land sharks like a youngling. Weak.
All right.
Pathetic.
Ma. Speaking of, what's everybody's passive perception again?
11.
17.
13.
Okay. Ma is going to, just staying where it's at, look at this creature and nobody is close enough to kind of hear what she whispers, but she kind of whispers and kind of like reaches up a little bit, and you watch as above kind of a white spectral bell dongs as it's going to cast Toll the Dead.
Ding dong.
But that is a 16, so you watch as the creature just kind of like buries its head a little bit, or like kind of roars over it, and it's kind of drowned out, and doesn't seem to have any effectiveness there. They are going to stay where they are, however, as I do not believe they have any bonus actions worth using. Actually, that's not true. She's going to cast Hunter's Mark on this creature just to make sure that she can keep track of it.
Huh. Kind of forgot that Frostbite is a resistance spell.
Oh, a resistance spell. Okay, that then brings us back to the creature. But not only that creature,
Right?
but nobody had a high enough passive perception
Nani?
to notice the other one coming.
Ah.
And
Oh no.
it is
Daddy shark.
coming from down here. And it is going to use its 40 feet of burrowing movement, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and leap and land here in between these two ladies. So I'm going to roll saves for them. +3 and +2. Not real great. That's a 12 and a 15, both of which fail. So that's going to be 5, 9, oh god. 19, 24, 28 total damage.
Oh shit.
Maw's down. And so is Iliad. They just immediately, this creature jumps out and just comes down, just wildly slashing around, and both of these women just get carved up and kind of squished under these massive hind legs. Let me see real quick if either of them are going to get an injury. As this is the first time on YouTube, I'll describe the injury mechanic real quick. Basically, if you get dropped to 0, you make a con save against half of the damage you took. So in this case, it's going to be a 14 con save. So Iliad passed. However, Maw did not with a 10. And so she is going to get a injury, which I have a table of which to do. She rolled a 75. So I will go ahead and look up what injury she received. If it's something to describe, I will describe it. If not, then we can find out later. In this one, it is actually something to describe, and funnily enough, I already described it. Shredded clothing. So when this creature basically comes down and shreds, you watch as the chains that wrapped around her just get severed and split, and you watch as these chains kind of fall off like a rubber band ball when you cut down it. And you watch as the chainmail itself is kind of just sundered in half, and she's now kind of wearing like half of chainmail on the top and half of chainmail on the bottom, but the section, the middle part, is just gouged straight through, along with her intestines that are kind of now spilling out on the ground.
Oh lord.
That's its turn. This one here is still pretty pissed. It is going to go ahead and just lash out at one of you. We'll just figure it out randomly. I think there's 6 creatures there. So we'll do from top, going clockwise. So it will be the Moorbounder. So it's going to go ahead and just take a bite at it. That is an 11 to hit.
Nope. Disadvantage. Okay.
Why disadvantage?
Because I struck it, and ancestral
Only a 10
disadvantage on next attack.
So
Either way, it does not hit.
definitely doesn't hit. All right, well, that is the 2 of those. Rin, it's your turn. You kind of out of the corner of your eye, see this other creature just launch into these carnival slash rebels that you have kind of just been recently saved by, and they are looking bad.
Yep. Seeing that, Rin first off is going to tell his Moorbounder to disengage and hide for safety. I don't want him getting hurt.
Make a animal handling check.
It's a rough roll for a 7.
Yeah, and it also rolled poor on its save again, and it's just like, it's not like it's ignoring you, but it's just growling and focusing on the creature at hand.
Got it. With that, Rin casts Spare the Dying on the black-haired one. Not
You have to be
what's
within 30 feet.
30 feet? Yeah, I'm within 30 feet. 1, 2...
35 feet.
All right. I will take the opportunity attack.
Okay.
Move here.
That's a natural 20 for a 27.
That'll
Would that
hit.
also be at disadvantage?
Yep.
Because it says for 1 turn.
Does it say for 1 turn, or does it say for the
Yeah,
next
so-
attack?
It says for the exact phrasing is, let me pull that up.
It's going to be a big difference.
Well, while raging, the first creature hit with an attack on your turn has disadvantage on any attack that isn't against you, and when the target hits the creature other than you, the creature has resistance to the damage dealt by that attack.
And it just says until your next turn.
You know, it's decided it nondescript. It says, well, first creature you hit with an attack on your turn has disadvantage on any attack it is against me.
Okay, hold on.
It doesn't say any duration of time. It just says
you click on the on whatever you're reading, and sometimes it'll pull up a larger version of it with more words.
What's it called?
Ancestral Protectors.
I'm also looking it up. Because this is going to be like maybe the difference between life or death of this character.
Oh, damn.
Until the start of my turn.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's hope that this next roll is way worse then. It's a 16 to hit.
Does not hit.
Good. Just to give you an idea, that would have been 4d12 doubled plus 4.
Yep. I'd have been dead.
So, yay. Anyway, Spare the Dying. Well done. So hold on. This is an important moment though. Like, what does your your sassy ancestral guardians do to intervene in this moment?
You know, I just read this 2 times, but I didn't memorize the fluff part. So 1 second while I fluff.
Fluff it up.
That's what those feathers are for.
Okay, so as the creature goes to attack my companion, spirits of my ancestors come and distract the creature. So working a bit like chaff, so they come in as the creature starts to go after and distract by moving the same flow with the creature and diverting around either way, confusing it.
All right, wonderful. All right, so Rin, you kind of get out of the way, like narrowly dodging this giant maw that just freaking snaps at your hair. What does casting Spare the Dying look like for you?
Yep, and then I will cast Spare the Dying. So kind of a dark and light energy radiates from me, but when it hits them, it primarily turns light because I've decided they don't deserve to die. So they are now stabilized and okay. Yep. Now with my other spell for my action, I am going to cast. We're going to cast Healing Word, first level. Because they are down, they get full hit point, their full healing back, so it's 9
So
points
who are
of
you casting Healing
health.
Word on?
Ma, the other one over there.
So you cast Spare the Dying on one and healing on the other, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so Ma's the closest one, so that's the one you cast Spare the Dying on.
Correct. Okay, then who's the other one?
Iliad.
What's Iliad? Yeah, so Iliad gets 9 hit points back.
So,
Top audio.
with that
Yeah.
then, that was Rin's turn.
I still have movement.
Correct. Yeah, and also, I'm sorry, so for your action, what did you end up casting?
Healing
The
word.
and it's 9 for Iliad. Thank you. I was distracted in the middle of doing the sound thing. Never gave her help back, but I have now. Wonderful. So, do you wish to move anymore?
Yeah, I'm gonna move up here.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
I
can
think
you
you give us.
roll an attack for your Moorbounder, please, at advantage?
Yeah.
I think you gave us like the main link for the actual like your controls serve, not the link that we're supposed to like kind of like share kind of thing.
It should just be
So one's
background music this time.
18
Is it
plus.
Okay.
Do you hear background music?
Is
I played it
24.
myself.
24 does something. What do you roll? Oh, yeah, for the Moorbounder, absolutely does. Definitely hits.
Yep. 14 damage. I'll just take the average.
No, you don't get to take the
You
average.
don't.
Roll some freaking dice.
Okay, if you want me to.
Lazy person. And you guys want me to start taking the average for the villains? You guys are going to start getting killed.
Not as long as you still roll 3s for a 10.
13 then.
13. Alright. It's looking real bad now at this point. Next up, though, we do have Aoth. So, again, Aoth, you see the same thing, this large creature come out of the sand kind of behind where you were. The ladies are still down, but you do see that Rin has at least revived one and does have a magical protection over the other.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and finish this guy off and give that a shot.
You do not have advantage from where you are currently. Because you are not in a flanking position. All of the flanking positions are kind of filled at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
Sure, it's windy.
It is a little windy. Is it too windy?
Oh, that's good. That's fine.
All right, let me try and attack him. And I'm gonna can I add that D6 that I got from wasn't
Yeah, absolutely.
Venus
Oh wait, for
for the
damage or
attack
for
roll?
No, for the attack roll, absolutely.
Okay. Does a 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Okay. So for the attack, it's gonna be that thing 9 plus I think 2 here. Because he's single-handed. Yeah. So it's 11 for the attack plus my hunter's mark, which I think is a D6.
Correct.
Okay, that's the one. So 12 total for the attack.
All right. Describe how you deliver the killing blow.
Yeah.
Right in that wound that he was bleeding out of, I thrust into it and carved my sword up and just split him in half till he collapses and is basically filleted butterfly on the ground.
Wonderful.
Butterfly in the sky.
So hold on. I'm wondering if I have something. Because I just created. I just had a wonderful idea for something. But I need to create. I need to basically a dead creature. Does that make sense?
So,
like I want to be able to have a symbol so that we can leave the carcasses, but yeah, this thing's gone.
I always tell people
Have you considered a frowny face?
Yeah, exactly. So many different things I could use. Haven't used any of them. All right, but you still have the rest of your turn. So that was just your attack.
Yep. So I'm moving my hunter's mark over to the other one, and I'm going to move toward it.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's it. All right.
What do you scream when you run toward it? Like, Yabba-dabba-doo! What or something?
Oh man.
Yeah.
You're mine, motherfucker.
Damn.
Or no, you're next.
There you go.
You're next, motherfucker.
There you go.
All right, wonderful. Well, up next is Temin.
Hammond is going to pull a 180, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, so close. Bonus action dash.
Okay.
5, 10. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I guess we'll just run a single normal attack. Short sword. 17.
17 just hits.
It landed on dice, like straight 10. Like didn't roll at all. I was just like, cool though. Let's roll some damage.
Come on.
19.
All right, that is some
As I
good
just
damage. As there is at
Pick
least
the
one
sword
person
in, and
threatening
then
it
just
still.
smack the back of it. Smack the hilt with my hand to push it in further.
Nice. All right, so yeah, you kind of just run through the sand, kind of slide by, and just stab into this creature, and you watch like a big chunk, like gout of blood shoot out onto your hand. Next up is Reek.
So as I continue the blow that I struck last and my glaive moves upwards, I continue my upwards momentum, turning my back towards the other target, gaining altitude. Then with all the speed I can, or with a good amount of speed, I move forward my full movement, and once I come in contact, I bear down with my hand against the pommel of my glaive and stab straight into the creature.
Okay, and then question: do you want to be coming down from above, or do you want
No,
to be
just
coming down from the
this is
side so you can get your flanking bonus?
from the side. So this is, I came up,
Yeah, and
kind of
then
did an
swoop down.
Emmelman,
Yeah.
if you will, and then came low, riding off the momentum. That is a
Good.
dirty 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the glaive strikes in near the top, not quite where I had planned, but that's 9 damage. And then with polearm master rolling to hit with the pummel, which is a dirty 20 as well. So as I come through, rams through, rips out a chunk of flesh, and I pull the polearm back up and drive the pommel straight down onto the top of the creature for, oh god, I didn't even think on having that out. Unless I still have those, kids lost them.
You're looking for
There's one. I am looking for a D4. So that's for 3 damage.
For 3 damage. Perfect. All right. Next up is Iliad, who was down, is now going to climb up to her knees. Just feeling a little wrecked here. Is going to go ahead and crawl. Oops. Is going to crawl around this creature to Ma, and is going to cast Cure Wounds. You watch as kind of this dark blackish energy kind of like radiates into her kind of veins, making her look necrotic for a moment, and then she kind of opens her eyes. Looking down again, her chainmail just completely ripped apart, her shirt, her armor, everything just like completely ripped out of her stomach, but now her stomach beginning to heal as she gains 9 hit points as well.
Good for her. Survivor.
All right, that is Iliad's action. For her bonus action, she is going to I'm sorry, the cannon attack is an attack, right? Not a bonus action? No, it is a bonus action now that it's directed. So it's going to use the bonus action to attack this one.
Oh, the cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, bonus action.
That's a 15, so it just sails kind of right over the head of this creature, is not able to make contact. But she's going to remain there, as she is still quite bloodied on the ground. And next up is Wonus, who is going to quickly head in this direction then they are going to go ahead and using all they can get to there. Going to go ahead and take the dagger that he had picked up and go ahead and throw it. That is only a 16 to hit, which does not hit as it clatters to the ground. But then they are going to go ahead and use their bonus action to be like, come on now, Ma. Come on now, you can pull through this. Come on, just get away from the thing. And she is going to have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Blitzkrieg, you are up next.
All right. As I see, like, Wellness get close to me, you shift a little bit further away, 5, 10 over here. And then he's going to gauge the situation. Like, so what is it like right now? Like, there's only one person down, I think, right? Is it
So
Greer who's
both
down?
people have been healed, but they are both Ma and Iliad are bloodied. I don't believe anybody else. Oh no, I guess Reek, how are you looking?
I felt better, but I'm good.
And then
Okay.
Rin.
Rin's fairly meh.
Okay.
There's your situation.
Yeah. I mean, he's not gonna heal you. He's just like, oh, good. Stay strong. All right. He's going to do the same thing where he's gonna try to charge up his little ice powers again, and this time, like, hopefully he'll make it better. And he's gonna basically, like Iron Man, frostbite, where it's gonna shoot out of his like a shard of ice will shoot toward the land shark.
All right, and that's a con save.
Con save 14.
That's a 9.
9. All right,
Fail.
and it does. It impacts it. Probably I would say like in the. Is it where is it facing right now?
It's facing one of the gods. You're not sure which one.
So basically, what you're saying, like his butthole is facing me. Okay,
Sure,
cool.
absolutely.
Well, yeah. So his frostbite basically just happens to impact his butthole, and doing 5 points of frost damage as he gets it gets a nice little cold
He
tissue.
also has another effect. What is the other effect of frostbite?
Other effect, yeah, it now has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its turn, as it is now
Very concerned with its butthole.
cold. Yes.
For sure. 100%.
And then with the other arm,
Weapon attack roll, so that means if they're not using weapons, it doesn't matter.
Is that what it said?
Is that what it
attack
said?
Or just melee attack?
frostbite is it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Yeah.
But it's considered still a melee weapon attack in the monster manual. So
Okay, and he'll take up his other arm, just like Iron Man again, and he will charge up his plasma ball, and he will do another one of his force ballista attacks.
all right, wonderful. Roll to hit.
This time, he rolls an 8, and it just basically goes wide.
Wonderful. All
Get
right.
distracted by a bird.
End of your turn, Ma, who has now just been given life back to her, is going to look at this creature above her who is still just thrashing above. They are then going to go ahead and rip out a mace and the shield that she still had on her. She's going to go ahead and slam into it with the mace. That is only 11.
Oh no!
And then as a war priest, she can do another attack again as a bonus action, which is a natural 20 for a
Shit.
24. So she's gonna go ahead and do 8 damage. As you watch as she kind of like weakly like hits it, and then you watch as this kind of like white ethereal fire kind of like begins to burn behind her eyes, and she pulls herself onto her feet, takes a bigger swing, and just smashes it right in the jaw. And it takes a pretty good look from that. But it is its turn, and there seem to be 4 pretty reasonable enemies around. So let's see who it is going to attack. That's going to be the one that just smacked it in the jaw. So the creature is then going to look right down at Ma, and it will have disadvantage, correct?
Yes.
For many reasons. For
Yes,
Frostbite and
that is
for Ancestral
correct.
Guardians.
Yeah.
That is then going to be a 11 to hit, which even without her chainmail armor, does not hit. As you watch as it just sinks into the ground beside her, as she's able to kind of like roll out of the way. It is then going to continue to burrow. So that means Reek, Iliad, Temin, and Ma will get an attack of opportunity against this as it goes under.
And these are all at advantage.
Yours is at advantage, Reek's is at advantage, but the other two are not.
Well, shit, I got 14.
That is a miss.
If I roll a 1 while I'm rolling with advantage, do I still get to re-roll that dice? Doesn't say I can't, right?
Sure. I'll let it happen.
Yeah. Woo! Not better, but 19.
19. 19 does hit.
Okay, super.
So as he's rolling, I'll just say, since I struck the pummel down, seeing it start to move, I tried repositioning to bring my glaive back into it, but it was too late for the creature to be burrowing since the blade was facing the wrong way, and I dig it into the soil.
You watch as Ma, who was getting ready to try and hit again, is too busy rolling out of the way. How much damage do you do, Temin?
10, and I'm just gonna baseball bat one of its legs. Just
with your short sword?
Correct.
Yeah. And as you do that, you watch as the Dark Fae beside you, having no melee weapons on her, you watch as she just reaches forward and just like punches this thing as hard as it can, and you watch a decent 3 damage to the side of one of these things' legs. But it does go ahead and burrow. And it is going to be right around here as you watch as it kind of moves straight in this direction. It actually messes up the cannon as it goes by. But that is
right around where?
It is.
I don't see it.
Well, you see where it was.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
See where
Okay.
it's going. So, all right. Next up then is Rin.
All right. And everybody's up at this point, right?
Yep, there's some very injured people, but everybody's up.
Okay. Ooh. Rin actually is going to walk over to his moorbounder and hop on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have the moorbounder leap
Are you going to make the link, I assume?
right over here. Yes.
Wait, the link?
Yeah, very much Avatar style. They basically essentially have a connection when they're riding
Oh, okay.
that they can then kind of perfectly control. While it's not Link, then it has its own free will essentially.
I didn't know Ren and Stimpy could do that. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Rick and
Ren
Morty?
and Stimpy.
Ren and Morty, sorry.
Ren and Morty. Oh man, I should have named him Stimpy.
God, that's super funny.
Alright, so you have a move over there, is that it?
Yep, we jump up. We're on top of that
So that's
thing.
not on top of the wall, that's just the cracked ground. The wall would be where it stops being cracked. Another,
Okay.
like 10 feet that way, which I think it would
Then
still have
let's-
more than enough movement to do.
Yeah, considering it can jump 60 feet, yes.
So you can go ahead and move you and it up on the solid ground, or the solid sandstone wall then. Alright, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, because the action is that, right?
No, to make the link you just have to, it's like the free action that I give you for checks and stuff, so you still have your action if you wish.
Oh, I do. Okay. All right. If I still have my action, then shit. I'm gonna hold action for guiding bolt when that thing surfaces. And I understand that will cost me a spell slot if it doesn't surface.
That's good. All right, next up is Aya.
I am gonna try chasing it.
Oh, it burrowed in the ground, huh? Okay.
Are you going to go underground, or are you going to just follow the mound?
I'm gonna follow the mound.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold a dodge action.
You don't have to hold the dodge action. You just take the dodge action.
Then that.
Perfect. All right. Next up, Temin.
Temin can't burrow, but he does have dark vision. Is just gonna hold a bow shot. Or actually, no. He's gonna try and bust out his little bag of herbs and spices. Try to come up with a healing salve. No, this is not gonna be nuts.
It's more of like an out of
seconds.
combat thing.
Yeah.
I'm totally down for you to do that, but it's not going to be like something you can do in 6 seconds.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna scooch over here, basically away from the group, and ready an arrow.
Okay, sounds good. All right, next up is Reek.
Well, having paid attention to the direction and soil disturbances, i.e. me asking for a perception check, as I fly matching the same direction.
You know
to
that
see
it's,
if I know that.
you can see that it's going from where it was to where it is going. Like the ground moved that direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to get for knowing where exactly it is as I again bury my glaive deep into the soil where I think it would be.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Again, I'll give you advantage for this since it's aware of its surroundings now, so just a straight roll. Even though it doesn't know you're there, it does know Aoth is right there, so it's still ready.
And I feel my glaive get no purchase as it buries into the ground.
Yeah, the ground's just
as
too
I
hard.
rolled a 9.
Yeah, just not able to get through it. All right, is that anything else in your turn?
That's about all I got.
All right. Iliad's up next. She is going to go ahead and reach over and once again cast Cure Wounds on Ma. And that is going to be... Ooh, that's real nice. That's 11 healing. Which brings her almost back full. And then she is going to go ahead and move away as far as she can. To here. And so her action was Cure Wounds. And that's pretty much it. Oops. Yeah, no, that's right. Alright, next up then is Wonus.
I should have every week I should just fucking just buy a bottle of wine, drink it. It's fucking great.
Also, her cannon is no longer operable. That's why she's not using her cannon. All right, but she is going to use her bonus action to, you watch as kind of these dark raven feathers envelop her, and she disappears and is now standing up on top of the sandstone wall up here. Next up, Wonus is kind of seeing where you guys all went, is going to go ahead and 5, 10, 15, 20, and then you watch as he very similarly but yet completely different kind of steps into a glittery starlight and ends up kind of teleporting right up here next to where you are on the Moorbounder. Maybe a little farther away because he doesn't want to be next to the Moorbounder. Yeah, over there. And then it's going to hold an action How are you looking injured, Rin?
Yes.
I forgot.
Pretty.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
23 out of 38. He just watched me save his
10,
comrades, both
15,
of them.
20, 25.
He doesn't care.
30. I just realized he cares more about his own comrades than you. And she's more injured than you are. So he is going to still do the same star step, but he is going to go over there and cast Cure Wounds on her. As you watch as she heals 10 hit points. And that is going to be the end of his turn. We are now to Ma, who is looking a little bit better now. She is going to go ahead and hold an action of Toll the Dead for when it comes out. So she's kind of holding this and kind of preparing. Alright, that is the end of her turn. Next is the creature's turn. And so with this, we are going to have a ton of held actions, and then we're going to kind of see where it goes from there. So, let me roll a dice real quick. Alright. As this thing pops out of the ground, let's just go from left to right.
Top of initiative.
Sure.
Top of initiative is where it should.
Top of initiative.
Wait, does it go last or do I go first?
No. Rin, go with your guiding bolt.
Yay.
Oh, I don't think I went yet.
Didn't you? Did I skip you?
I think so, because I
my
don't
bad.
remember it
Yeah.
when it going underground, because
No,
they went underground.
My bad. My bad.
Go ahead.
I definitely skipped you. It's not there yet.
Because in my mind, I was like, I have a plan kind of thing. Like,
No. How dare you have a plan? No. It's
How dare I?
It's absolutely me. I went from Wonus to Ma, and I skipped Woods.
okay. Oh shit, where did it go? Oh my god, it's hidden. All right. I think because I am familiar with like land sharks in the Grim Waste,
Mhm.
he will have just kind of like an idea like what to do. He's gonna basically walk. He's gonna make a lot of noise as he steps back 5, 10, 15, and I'm thinking like that's like 5, and then that's like
Yeah, make a nature check real quick as a free
okay.
action.
18.
18. You would know that these things when underground have tremor sense, and the more
Yeah.
you make noise on the ground specifically, the better chance you're going to have of attracting its attention.
Yeah,
And
so
you-
like the
and you
entire
do so.
time. Yeah, and I do so. As I run back into this like near the wall, I guess you could say this is like a wall, I think, right? Over
Yep.
here. So pretty much he's gonna step all the way back here. Does it like 5,
So that
10,
red square
15,
is
25?
you would have to climb up
Oh, I'm not going up there. I'm basically just standing in the rubble, like
Yeah.
right,
right next
and then
to
I'm
it.
just making a lot of noise, like so in case like it charges me, it'll kind of have to stop somewhere, or maybe run into the wall. I don't know.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
And then he is going to blast out telepathically, shit, what was I gonna say again? Prepare to counterattack. And then he's going to use his ability for he's going to use a protective on himself first. Shit, where's my actions, guys? Hang on 1 second.
It's good. We're not going anywhere.
All right.
Any moment now.
Where the fuck did it go, man? Wait, where's my?
Maybe.
Wait. Is someone here? Wait, where's my cannon flame door? Okay, so that's a flame door. I don't need that. Protector. Here it goes. Okay, he's gonna basically bonus action cast up his Eldritch Cannon Protector feature. So 1d8 plus 4. 1d8 plus 4. He rolled 8 plus 4, so that's 8. He's gonna get 12 temporary hit points.
Sweet.
Within 10 feet, so he's the only one he's gonna grab.
Okay.
And he's going to take his dodge action and then at the same time he's just gonna make a lot of noise, like telepathically, and also like pretty much like
Yep.
where he is, just like stomping on the ground, like prepare yourself.
Wonderful. And
And then that's
again,
where he's gonna be.
Ma would have then done her turn getting prepared, kind of getting up, getting ready to throw. And then as this boule kind of jumps out of the ground, now we'll go through our attacks of opportunity. So we will start with Rim. What was your roll?
I don't even remember.
Well, then roll again.
I remember.
What was it?
That. Oh, I know why you don't remember.
Is it missed?
Oh, can you give him like a chance to like re-roll it?
Yeah,
just because
go
it's,
ahead. 'Cause I'm a
Yeah.
nice guy.
I think it's DM.
Let me pull it up. What
No,
was
it's
it?
all good,
Oh, it
too.
was a 16. It was a 16. I can
Okay.
pull up the chat log. But that's fine. Even a reroll, I get a 1. It still misses.
Yeah, the dice don't lie, right? You watch
Dice
as this
don't lie.
guiding bolt kind of being prepared, you do it, but for whatever reason, your moorbounder kind of freaks out a little bit as it bursts from the ground, and it kind of throws your aim off just a little bit. Aoth, did you have anything held, or did you take the dodge action?
The dodge.
And then Temin, you had a shot, correct?
Correct.
Go ahead, shoot.
Oh, 26.
26
Ooh.
definitely hits. And there is even a person in sneak attack range for you.
I can't
Oh,
use
because
sneak
you
attack.
already did it. No, wait, why?
Correct. So I already did it on my attack.
But you have
Did it?
since held your turn, so this is a new round.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. And Reek is right there 5 feet away from him, so absolutely.
Oh, well, you're gonna eat those words here in a second.
Believe it or not, my job is to make sure you guys have fun. So probably not.
Oh yeah, I'm having fun.
20 damage total.
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah, you watch as that arrow just shoots into the side as it is launching itself straight at Blitzkrieg, as he did exactly what he intended to do, and he made a lot of noise. And it is going to go ahead over there and just running as fast as it can, jump, and it is going to take a bite attack against you.
yes!
Um,
Come at me!
oh, hold on. I also Ma made an attack as well, but they were able to resist with their save as the little bell did not work again.
I do have an attack of opportunity because it entered my striking distance if you don't count the fact I tried attacking it but couldn't hit it.
It was already in your attack distance, so it never went into it, it just left it. Which would have then given you an attack of opportunity. So sure, you can still take the attack.
15.
And just as the narration has said, launches itself out at disadvantage, and then you have 12 temporary hit points, correct?
Yep. Heals out, ready for this impact, because this is how we
16
take care
to
of them.
hit.
16 is a miss, as I deflected.
Right.
Mentally and physically
So
prepared.
we'll
for
say
this.
again, just to kind of go along with your theme here, we'll put you there as it kind of rams into this wall a little bit, kind of shaking it, taking 6 damage as it does so, and it kind of shakes its head and is now kind of reorienting itself for the next turn. But Rin, it is definitely bloodied, and it is your turn.
All right. It's within range for my moorbounder to jump over to it, right?
Remember, you're jumping off a cliff there, but yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
you can certainly try.
Moorbounder's jumping to it.
Yep, you don't have to try. Moorbounders definitely can do that.
Yep.
So you are down there. Are you attacking with the Moorbounder, or are you attacking with yourself? Or both?
The moorbounder can attack, and he can attack,
Yeah,
right?
so I'm just saying, which one are you doing first? Was the point.
We'll do the bloody end first.
Okay.
The bloody end.
I can't fucking roll more than an 8. This is ridiculous.
Poor
Yeah.
you. Yep. You just smack this mace onto the back of this, again, just like steel exterior.
Yeah. Here's the moorbounder. Moorbounder gets a 12.
12 12 also does not hit. You guys both kind of surround this thing, but just cannot seem to get through the carapace of its armor. Aya.
All right. I'm going to come for it.
Okay, where are you moving to?
Does that put me flanking?
I don't believe you have enough movement to get there because it's half movement through the rocks.
But I have my little desert cloak, so I can move unimpeded.
That absolutely would put you in flanking.
He is in his preferred environment right now.
Yeah, I'm in a happy place. All right, let's try and hit this guy. They both are 13s. Anyway, 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
All right. So, does he still have Hunter's Mark, or did I lose it when he went under?
He still has Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark stays with the target as long as you... I think it just stays with the target, period.
Yep, you track it, you know
Is it
exactly
not even...
where it...
Oh, it is concentration. Yeah, you still have to keep concentration on it, but you haven't been attacked, so...
So 9 plus 5 is 14. Plus 2 is 16 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Gonna go right there through his mouth and just slice him down his, whatever tongue situation he has, and just split him. So he has this, almost like those face eater things where the face the predator just opens up, but this is involuntary. So he's just split and collapses down. And then I whip back around and just pin him down through the skull.
Nice.
That's all.
That's it. As you kind of finish with that, the kind of commotion begins to settle a little bit. Wonus and Iliad kind of step down from their perches up here on the sandstone, and kind of everybody begins to gather together again. It is now morning. You guys are still in the middle of the desert.
Well,
do we want to roast some worm?
We're gonna roast some land sharks.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Looking at it, I start to think to ask Blitzkrieg if these are edible, but then remembering what he considered food, I decide not to ask him, but look into it myself to see if it's something that would be able for me to eat.
Go ahead and roll a nature check.
As you look at me already, I'm already like in the middle of like kind of like just having some blood juice, The
Grimways aren't super far from where you are from, Reek, and you would have probably flown over them at some point. You would understand that this is probably going to be edible, depending on how you do it. It seems to have a lot of meat under its very thick exterior.
It's a little earthy.
So I begin to use my glaive to pry parts of the carapace so that I can get the meat out from underneath, to store it, wetting a cloth to try and keep it cooler until we could set up a camp again.
Okay. Go ahead and make a survival check for me, and I know Blitzkrieg, you're doing the same. You go ahead and make a survival check as well.
Yes. What a boon!
I got a 5.
I got a 17.
So as I start to fumble through this, I begin to realize my own ineptitude, since I've had prepared food for me my entire life until recently.
Left dealer, follow my lead. This is what you need to do.
For designs, though.
Designs? What designs?
You hear Iliad going, "Oh no, it's fine. I can design new armor for you, so that when we're back, we'll be able to get you all fixed up. Don't worry about it, Ma."
Yeah, so I'll start carving away and basically just showing Reek how how to take apart this land shark, because there's so much like carapace you have to get around to get to the meat.
How long do you want to spend on this task?
Not much time. I still have a good amount of food, but it's worth me looking into. But I'm like 4 out of 10 dedicated. 3 out of 7 dedicated.
I would spend like 1 hour.
Okay. I would say in an hour, with your proficiency with these creatures, you will be able to get about 14 rations worth of meat. However, without treating it, it will only last about maybe a day, maybe less than a day in this heat.
Unless treated, okay.
So like unless you like turn it into jerky or try and dehydrate it or do any of the preservation techniques that you know, it will not be able to last very long in the heat.
Okay, yeah. It depends on the situation. Like if we're gonna basically continue like camping or something, I'll definitely like take that time because I don't sleep anyway, to try and like preserve it. I'll take out some like rock salts, whatever I find in my environment and whatever I have on me, to try and like make sure it doesn't spoil. Whatever techniques I learn as a hunter.
Yeah, as you kind of begin to do your harvesting, the camp is kind of slowly beginning to pack up. Wonus comes to all of you, but like to make sure that he's like, all right, we need to go soon. We spent too much time here anyways. How much longer do you need?
I'm just about done here. As I do the, whatever, the salt bro, whatever.
Okay. It would probably take you another hour to treat it all. So do you want to take that extra hour or do you want to get moving as it's probably around 8 or 9 in the morning?
You know what? I think like, if they're going to start moving, I'm just like, okay, that's fine. We'll just like eat as we go.
Okay.
And I'll just like share the whatever I can share.
Okay. Sounds good. So just, keep that in mind. You have, again, 14 rations of food that will go bad in a day or less.
Okay.
As you guys continue to walk, though, this is a brand new day. Who would like to roll for your fate?
Hello?
I'll do
Not
it.
everybody all at once.
I'll do it. What is it? 20?
No.
Yep. Roll a d20 for me, please.
12. That seems pretty mid lane.
Yeah. How bad could it be, right? Well, as you guys kind of again pick up and begin to walk, mostly you see the group of Carnival Iliad, Ma, and Wonus kind of speaking amongst themselves. Looks like Wonus is generally trying to just make sure the girls are okay after the morning's fight. But eventually he kind of falls back specifically to Aoth and goes, "Is your group okay? Quite a start we had to the morning."
Yeah, definitely not how I planned spending the morning. I'm glad everybody came out of it. How's your people doing?
Well, Ma's armor was completely destroyed, and she's a little scratched up, but overall we're doing okay. We still have about a day and a half's journey. We should probably make as much time as we can.
Next time we stop, I'll take a look at that armor and see what I can do to help out.
I think I'll probably help Ma. Like if I see that she's like kind of bloody and still like kind of really hurt.
She's not hurting as much. Like most of her wounds have been magically healed, but like her clothes are in tatters and her armor is completely destroyed.
Okay, if that's the case, then I'll still try to help in a way where I don't know how to play this out, but I'm gonna start the process of, I guess, like just being like, like my 4 hands, my 4 arms will start like kind of like, let me help you with that, and then I'll do mending. Take a minute to as we're walking, maybe a minute or two of just like a couple minutes of just going through, because I have 4 arms. It's a lot quicker, so I could just like take care of some of the stuff that is like faulty.
Yeah, I would say that as you're going through all of those chains that got split, you can kind of slowly begin to kind of put together those.
Right
it's
here.
not going to be fully effective to heal the armor. It's still not going to be undone, but aesthetically, it'll look much better, as it'll look like she has basically her outfit again that she can use. But without blacksmithing, the armor is going to be poorly. But she looks at you and she goes, "Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you." And she kind of like kind of moves away and kind of wanders off a little bit.
Yeah, I'll nod at her, but I don't say anything. It's the typical, alpha drag queen.
Yeah, you hear and feel, and everybody here hears and feels, as it seems to be getting a little bit windier as you guys begin to move, and it's not so bad as to cause you guys any issues, but you guys make it through the next day, and as you guys near nightfall, you are able to see clearly the mountain range before you, known as the Cursed Heights, and you're told that the rebel base, the city that they stay at, as you guys sit around the fire for the evening, Iliad goes, I guess we should probably talk about the day to come. What do you all know of the rebels, or as we call ourselves, the Karstino?
Blitzkrieg doesn't know anything about that, but if we have a fire going, he's going to basically take like 10 minutes to make a perfect medium rare land shark steak for people, and he's going to share it.
Juicy.
Sorry, I know your story.
No, people begin to dig in, and between bites, Wonus kind of steps in here and goes, yes, they're very protective of their cities. They do quite an invasive search before they let anyone in. So yes, I guess we should inform you about that beforehand. But it's not like you really have a choice. He looks at Aos specifically. You're quite wanted. This is probably still the safest place for you, despite that.
Well,
What are they
you guys
searching
go along for the ride regardless.
What are they searching for?
Traders, people who look to find their hidden secrets.
Very well. I have nothing to hide as I go back to minding my own business after interjecting.
Yeah, Ma kind of like shyly kind of speaks up and goes, I mean, it's not just, but they go too far. You know they do. And Iliad looks over and goes, yes, but that is what the council wants. Essentially, they are going to search through as much of your memories and thoughts as they can to see if you are trustworthy. But again, the less you resist, the better it'll be. If you resist, it can become quite painful. You're quite quiet.
We'll just play along then.
Do they have, like, what are they protecting? You said their secrets, their powers. Is this the powers of the people?
Just more so if the Reavers knew of their location, it's not like you would want, Dragon and Dragon Riders to come down upon your entire civilization wreaking havoc, right? If you're in direct opposition to the Empire.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So it's a location thing they want to keep secret.
Just more so that they're only going to reveal the location to those they trust.
No, sounds fair. I'm on board with that.
Anybody else? Any questions, comments, concerns? You guys have been quite quiet, but I feel like we've traveled with each other for enough days that we should... Or about as friendly of people as you're going to have for a bit, so anything you want to know?
I think Blitzkrieg would just like blurt out hurt my squad and everyone would die. But beyond that, we are fine. We are friends. Have some steak.
She takes another bite. Wonus kind of looks around and goes, what about you, King? Is that what we should call you now? Are you assuming the title?
No. I don't think I'm there yet. Chaos always works just fine. That's something to call me.
You seemed quite impressive on the battlefield today. What's your plan once you get in here?
You guys held your own pretty well too. Once I get into with your colleagues where we're going, is that what you're asking?
What's your plan? What are you gonna do?
I'm looking for allies.
You will certainly find them where we're going.
Yeah.
But what if those allies want you to do things you don't want to do?
We'll have to see what those things are, what the cost is. I mean, I'm asking for a great sacrifice, and I have a big purchase to make on that throne. So I understand that it's not cheap. There will be sacrifices that need to be made by myself and others. I'm
As he
open to
says-
conversation.
So I begin to grow more skeptical. So how do I know you're not planning to sell them out? There's a lot of procedures I'm hearing to protect your kind. How do I know that your leader doesn't want earldom?
You watch as Wonus kind of looks you over and goes, "See, now here's the smartest person of the group so far, because he's at least using his brain for something other than wear his hair. You don't. You have nothing to go on other than our word and the actions we've done to save you so far. In fact, I am not even part of this group. I am a third party." Iliad, and Iliad kind of speaks up, she goes, "I have been fighting against the Empire for most of my life. That is what we do. We do not wish an earldom. We wish a new kingdom with new order and new power and not an evil dictator. We feel like any legitimate claim will be better than that. But there are those among our ranks who have their own agendas. And you, dear Aoth, will need to know what it is that you stand for, or you may be easily swept off into others' agendas."
Thank you for your advice.
What of the rest of you? Obviously he is tied here. Are you all his party? Or are you coming here for your own reasons?
I raise a water skin. All hail to the I'm not there yet. And take a drink.
You watch as Ma kind of like snorts in her water a little bit as she's eating.
Tried to break a bond formed over 2 weeks. But everything that was sarcasm. But everything I see about Aoth, good guy, and the plan of fighting to be had as I follow him. So I'm with him.
I am also of Aoth, but I am also for the larvae, our holy artifact. It will be ours.
Wonus just laughs. He's just like,
My eyes
I
narrow.
even told you what this thing is, and you still won't relent searching for it.
His eyes narrows and he just like, just give him like the little stare, little beady eye stare.
No, don't take any hardship with me. I appreciate you being dedicated to this task. It will make it easier for me to recruit you to my cause.
What causes that?
To find this artifact, for while it is worthless to you and your people now, it is still quite important to me and mine.
When he says that, like, what do you mean worthless? It is a livelihood.
It is just your fallacies. Your race has been created. You now reproduce just like any other race. He like looks you over and like, or I assume you do. But the device is no longer active. It is just a empty battery waiting to be charged.
Huh. I think like for him, because even though he's a Dark Queen and like, internally he's like, like whatever the queen wills, right? But when he says that, like, because he is like a more of a tinkerer type, like a thinker, he will consider what he just said. Like, huh. I still don't like you. But yeah, he will like kind of think about that, like the idea of it.
Iliad speaks up again, this time specifically to you, Blitz, kind of trying to break the tension a bit, and goes, I saw you had an arcane cannon of it looks like your own design. Can I look at it?
Oh yeah, of course.
And you kind of pull it
I
out.
noticed, and then I'll while he's saying that, and it's like, I also noticed your design is actually quite weak, but I could help you improve upon that.
Oh, yeah, of course. I would love to have any advice that you might have for it. I also have a couple of different iterations of it. It can turn into a flamethrower, or it can also do other functions as well.
Yes. We know that. That is basic knowledge. Let me show you the way.
And she quite humbly pays attention to kind of the things that you show her. But through the talk, she goes, I'm sorry. I'm as much as I am interested in your arcane creations. I'm also quite interested about your culture. I heard you spoke to the bird, the Aarakocran. You called him Death Dealer. What does this mean?
Death dealers. Yes. Oh, he is. Bro, why you gotta do this to me, man? I gotta look at that shit over there. No.
What, you didn't think I was gonna
Yes.
throw your own creation back in your face?
Yeah. You got me.
How
Thanks.
dare you?
A death dealer. Yes. They are they're the frontline soldiers of the hive. Although he doesn't have the carapace that I do, I still consider him part of my team, my squad. His ferocity in battle reminds me of a death dealer, and that is what I should call him.
Oh, so it's like a ranking or a positioning of sorts.
Yes.
Are there
It is
other
it is
terms?
every dry queen has a role in society. The death dealer is a frontline destroyer. They will defend our hive with their lives.
You
And
watch
such
as
as the
she's
Blade
like
Warden.
taking notes of this. Oh, you said there's a Blade Warden. Who or what is
And
that?
then I'm staring at Aof. It's like, yes, the Blade Warden, the champions of the Hive Mother and the protectors of the Hive. Yes. They will lead the army. The devotion is stronger than even mine to the Hive. And there's no way. They will always be honorable to the end.
You watch as she's just fervishly writing all of this down, and she goes, "Oh my goodness! Who would have known that Thrycreen culture is so sophisticated?"
Yeah, he'll walk up to like Aof, is like sniffs him a little bit, like he doesn't have the pheromones, so. But that is understandable. He is only a fleshling.
And you guys are all privy to this conversation as well. Wonus kind of speaks up here in this, and he goes, "All right. So what would I be then in your culture? What role would I fill?"
The enemy.
Hard
stare.
He laughs like quite heartily at this and like takes a drink and goes, "All right, very well."
Defiler. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, he's Wonus is basically the what is it, like the outsider that basically is the invasive species, you could say. So he definitely does not like that guy, and yeah, they were definitely at odds.
Perfect. While kind of these conversations are going around, does anybody else have anything they wanted to engage with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if Mom wants to help make these valve things, and she still has the smelling salts of temporary no exhaustion. Oh no, I have one. I have the one charge.
Yeah, I was gonna say she doesn't have anything like that.
Okay. No, because I made that. She took a hit.
Yeah.
And then I blew that one.
She goes, "I'm sorry. What do you need my help with?"
Yeah, so I just need you to like add these. So chop this up first, and then add these as I'm kind of mixing everything, and do it slowly and evenly so it doesn't rot and spoil.
Okay. I'm not really great with herbs. But I can try.
Okay.
She goes ahead and is gonna make a medicine check of a natural 1 for a 4. And you watch as she's like doing her best. She like begins to like add, and you watch as like bits of like sand and stuff get in, and almost immediately this first batch is ruined.
Okay.
What the shit?
She goes, I'm sorry. I always screw things up like this.
No, it's okay. We'll do it together. You gotta. It's not all lockpicks and daggers. Do I have enough for what? 1 more? 2 more?
Oh, do the hands touch?
It's whatever you have on hand. I don't remember what we started you with.
It was just an herbalism kit.
Yeah, normally those have 10 uses, so depending on how many you've used already, that's how many you would have left.
So 2 for the. Oh, that's just healing utility already.
Yeah, so basically, like, you have
Okay.
10 uses of the medicine herbs, essentially. So, like, if you churn
Oh,
one
gotcha.
from herbs to medicine, then you have a successful thing. If you turn it into something else, that's fine.
Oh,
but
perfect.
of the, like, raw ingredients in your kit, you have enough for basically 10 uses, unless it's something special that you would have to, like, go find somewhere else.
So I've burned 2 for the smelling salts.
And then 1 here, so that'd be 3.
1 here. 3. We'll try 2 more.
Okay. Do you want to do it this time? I don't want to ruin another one.
Yeah, no, I'll do the mixing. You help with the cutting.
Go ahead and make a medicine check. And if you have proficiency with an herbalism kit, you can add your proficiency if you don't already have it.
Straight roll?
Yeah, so straight roll, and then again, plus proficiency, plus wisdom.
12.
12. So what is your intention here as far as, like, what are you trying to make?
Like a stabilizing.
So, like, the essentially
Salve kind of thing.
the effects of, like,
Yeah.
What is it? Stabilized dead? That's not the answer for it. Or that's not the word for it. Why can't I come up with a name for spare the dying? There we go.
Spare the dying. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you go ahead and kind of begin to mix this and begin to kind of work with it. You feel like you have successfully made a spare the dying potion, essentially, that you can use. I will say, though, it ended up taking up 2 uses of your herbs, as you weren't able to do it perfectly with just the 1. So you now have used a total of 5 for what you have.
Okay. And it's a potion?
Yeah, so it can be drank yourself as a bonus action, or, well, you can't
Or force fed as a...
force fed as an action. Alright.
What do you call the place that we're going, Wonus?
Wonus goes, well, I mean, they call it the Blacklands, because it's kind of just out in the middle of nowhere, but the group itself is called Costino. I don't know if the city has another name. Blacklands is typically what we call it. But
Is there an enchanter there that you know of?
yes, there are many capable people among the council and as well as outside of the council. Is there anything specific that you need?
Well, my heat charges on my sword benefit from an enchanter to be regained.
Oh, yes. Even a simple enchanter could do that.
Great. So, your friend there with damaged armor, can I take a go at repairing that?
Ma, kind of comes over from helping Tim, and she goes, "Thank you for letting me help." She hustles over. Yes.
Are we still traveling, by the way?
No, you
Or
guys
we
are
stopped?
camping for the night. This is your guys' like end camp.
Okay.
She goes, "Yes."
I'd like to. How's your armor looking? If I can, I'd like to help out with repairing it.
She goes, "It's pretty much destroyed, but I'm sure a blacksmith could help."
Yeah. Well, let me see what I can do to help with that.
Okay. You pull out your portable anvil and your sword. And essentially what you would need to do here is just a repair check. So in this case, it would be a well, it would be 2 checks. So it would be basically a D20 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom, as you're basically assessing what the damage is.
Which proficiency?
So proficiency is just what you have depending on what level you are. I think at level 4 it's still 2. Is that correct?
For blacksmithing?
So your proficiency bonus should be at the top of your character sheet next to your speed.
Should be +2.
Yeah, so it should be...
Oh, okay.
2,
Yeah. Plus
and
2.
Then plus your wisdom, which is whatever that is, so...
3. So 5. So D20 plus 5 then?
Correct.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Mm-hmm. And this is chainmail, so your effect is chainmail.
I was going to ask Red Metal if he wanted to cast guidance.
Yes.
Because I know he's helped me out before.
Okay, you go over to Rin and you ask for this. When you cast guidance, what does it look like?
It's, again, the same energy, but it's just patting him on the back, and it lights up a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and make the check.
You got this, buddy.
So that's 8 total, and I think I have a wisdom thing here. No.
Wait, 8 total or 8 plus 5?
No, I rolled a 5 first. So, so it's 13 total.
13
8
total.
plus 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you're kind of looking at it and going through it, you're having a lot of trouble kind of determining what is needed to repair this. As you're kind of sitting there, kind of thinking about it, Wonus goes, "All right, well, let me see if I can help you a little bit here. Maybe it'll be better." And he starts to kind of do a little bit of a kind of an elvish dance, and he goes,
Elvish dance.
"We sit here among the fire's roar. We see the blacksmith working ore. Today he fixes chainmails strong, and then hopefully hits the bong." And you have another bardic inspiration that you can either use for that check, or you may save it. But you are not currently successful for...
No. I'll use it for this check. It's a D6.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a 6. So 19.
That is that you are able to kind of, with this kind of mystical elven kind of energy, kind of puts you into a zone where you're able to focus a little bit more and find the problem. Go ahead and make another D20 plus your proficiency plus your strength modifier this time.
Alright. So it's 5. 20 total.
20 total. Not only are you able to make this repair, but you are able to do so without spending any additional ore of your own. And so you are successfully able to fix this armor.
Sweet.
So I will add chainmail armor back to this person's equipment. She goes, "Oh, thank you. It looks great. You do such great work."
Thank you. Hopefully it holds up a little better for you.
I'm sure it will. All right, that boosts her armor way back up. That's nice. All right. Is there anything else anybody wishes to do this evening?
I think I'm good, actually, for me. Yeah. I'm still considering what Wonas just told me, so I'll spend the entire night just really contemplating like what he said about how the artifact's dormant.
Rin would spend the evening hanging out with Morty and learning more skills, kind of trying to train.
Play catch?
Okay. Can you make a wisdom save for me, Rin?
It's a 14.
Okay. And are you guys keeping watches this evening?
Why did I make a wisdom save?
No matter.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. Iliad will take first watch with you. Yeah. Second watch.
I'll go.
Also, let me ask you guys, in game, do you want me just to establish first watch and then you guys can decide who the fuck you want to wake up after that? Versus setting it ahead of time, or is that something you guys want to say you guys would decide that?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, we could do that, but I would try to prioritize the people with dark vision for the middle watches.
We'd know their schedule to go with our schedules.
I'm just asking. All right, so Iliad will then take first watch with you, Aoth. So as people begin to lay down, people begin to sleep, she kind of sits there with you and goes, "You really the king?"
It's as shocking to me as it is you. Yes.
It's crazy. Never in my lifetime would I think something like this would have happened. Much less here, now, and with me.
Were you alive when the old king ruled?
I was very young. Don't remember much other than the Reavers when they came to our town specifically and killed my parents. They killed most of our kind. The king did not seem to think that Shatterkai deserved to live in the same empire that he did.
Is Shatterkai your people?
Yes, it is our people. We existed on the outskirts of the Fricksbog, and we had our villages there, and we spent our time among nature and the darker places.
Is this Iliad or?
This is Iliad.
Really sorry to hear that that happened to your people.
It's fine.
It's yeah.
It is not the worst atrocities that the king has done, and I'm sure it won't be the last of them, but know that I am committed to this cause regardless of whether you are committed to it or not. But you will be inspiration for many, and I hope you don't abuse that or give it less worth than it really is.
I hope you can avenge your people and bring them peace by taking back what's theirs. Why was he threatened by them? Do you know?
Who knows what a mad king is threatened by. He took power and exerted that power rapidly, quickly, surrounded himself with people who he could twist and control. He's a disease.
It'll be a big task, a tall task to take that back, but we need to bring mercy back to the people, and you can't live in fear of a mad king's whims to eradicate your kind.
I hope you're right. Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Have you seen anything out there in the dock tonight?
21.
You look out, and it is just the wind traveling over the dunes, but it seems very quiet.
Oh no, it's a still night. What, she's the one with the chains, right?
No, she's the one with kind of the greenish cloak and the turban. You see little black tufts of hair sticking out from beneath it, but she's just like kind of an overall like darkish gray skinned elf. Not like a drow, but like it's like white and dark kind of intermixed in the skin color. Kind of almost like a swirling appearance.
What do you see that I could bring to the kingdom?
She looks at you and she goes, well, you seem to inspire others to fight along your side. I'd say that's always been the sign of a good leader. I don't know you very well. I just hope that you can't be any worse than what we already have.
I hope I can be much better.
Why?
Thanks for the chat.
Absolutely. I'm going to wake up Wonus for second watch. Good night.
Good night. I'll go wake up Reek.
Wonus kind of begins to take his watch and begins to kind of walk around and sees you up as well, Reek, and kind of gives you a nod.
Yep, on it. Okay. As I wake up and start looking around, and I look over to Wellness, we find each other on watch yet again.
Well, there are definitely worse people that I'd be stuck on watch with. Of all of these, you seem to be the most manneristic. Regal? I don't know the best way to put it.
I think Regal works fine. So, tell me more about you and how our histories you feel are intertwined or similar.
It's funny. I think very little of this land. I've seen very little of this land. I know very little of its people. But I do know that my job is to recover what was lost. And these people seem to have means in which to help, reason in which to help, and at least from my point of view, they seem to be more righteous than the others. Not that it really matters. But I'm more curious about you. How does a noble Aarakocra find himself subsidiary to another king?
I wouldn't call it subsidiary. It's more of a how do you say, symbiotic relationship. I was no longer welcome in the first land I came to because my family was wronged. It took upon me to correct the wronging, and I was found to be guilty, almost exonerated at the same time, and not welcome back of the farthermost land of this area. And got in a fight, killed a man, and the one-on-one combat excited me. It's something I'd never done before. Just so happened to be flying by, found a party, came across this whole group, I'm just out looking to try and find my own way in life and be entertained by life that isn't so well provided.
So
These guys give me plenty of opportunity.
I can see that. So your own benefit in this symbiosis is just what? Entertainment? Not being bored?
Almost. I like the chaos of life, but that being said, it's a good group of people. I like them.
I shall keep
Seem
that
to
in
be doing
mind.
right by everybody around them.
Perhaps I shall be able to provide more entertainment for you in the future. Hopefully our paths
And-
continue to cross.
As he says that, I start to do my. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I start kind of fading out of the conversation. Just trying to pay attention to, not falling asleep, but trying to pay attention to what's going on, but still half listening. But just kind of, he could tell I'm losing a little bit of interest.
Yeah, as you kind of fade out of the conversation, he kind of just mumbles a little bit, and you kind of barely hear it. He goes, "Interests me that killing a man interests you. Perhaps we have more in common than I thought." And he kind of just moves about his patrol. A little later in the evening,
Is that Wonus or?
that was Wonus, yeah. Wonus goes to wake Ma for third watch.
I think
And-
Blitzkrieg was just like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just walk over to Blitzkrieg.
I'm already
Say-
standing up as you walk to me. Like, I have this.
I'd say, mind if I get a night snack of some of that meat? You think it's still good?
Ah, yes, of course.
I grab a
throw you,
piece and
like-
say,
I'll throw you like two steaks of lime shark steaks.
and just say, "You mind grabbing this watch?"
You say, "Am I grabbing this watch?" Or
Yeah.
yes, I'll take care of this.
Ma kind of has already kind of moved over to the fire and kind of sits and sees the two of you talking and just kind of like shyly waves as she kind of begins to fiddle with her chains and her locks.
Okay. Is anything like if I observe her, like is anything I could do to help her like further, like with the armor?
The armor was completely fixed by Aoth, and she seems to have nothing else that is damaged at this point. It seems like between you and Aoth, you guys were managed to fix all of the issues she had.
Okay. In that case, it's gonna be a very silent night where he looks over at her, it's like she's okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna continue doing my watch. Then
You look at her, she looks at you, you look at her,
Awkward
but
stare.
nobody says anything in this very, very awkward night. But with that, I would like to take this opportunity to have us take a short break as it is a little bit late into the evening already. And then when we come back, we will start with bringing ourselves into the morning. Perhaps maybe a few dreams. So we'll get to that when we come back. Thank you, the viewers that have been sticking around and hanging out and watching. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. And we will see you guys very soon. And we are back on the internet. And I would like us to start with one person who did not take watch this evening.
Who?
One Rin Ratal.
Oh shit.
As you having not
Did we get a full rest?
We'll get
A
there.
long rest? Oh,
Oh yeah, I did.
As one who has not had a great long sleep in a few days, this deep sleep takes over you, and you find yourself walking through a dark void where you essentially just seem to be, it's like you're walking on water, but there is no water, but yet you are still affixed to something solid along your path. You begin to hear a very familiar voice, but much louder, much more surrounding you from all sides. Why have we done nothing?
I would respond like because I can't hit with you. I tried several times.
You are
Nothing happened.
worthless.
I mean, seems the same could be said there, buddy.
Make a wisdom save.
21.
Big ups.
So, what you're saying is that you blame me, that I am not a good enough weapon for you, that you couldn't conquer with something like me.
Correct. Couldn't hit with you. I tried several times. You didn't feel it?
You feel the void that you're in kind of get thicker as it gets harder to breathe, as the weight kind of pushes down upon you from all angles. Am only able to live up to the potential of the one who wields me. If you are unable to do so, then perhaps you should hand me off to someone else before I take things into my own hands.
And who would you have?
Someone worthy.
I can assure you I'm worthy.
Then show me. And you watch as just like whatever strong thing whatever thing that was holding you to the ground is gone, and you just feel like you're dropping until you wake up to dawn. The weapon in your hand, feeling hot and heavy, as if twice or three times.
I was clenching it all night.
Yeah, but also like as if it's 2 or 3 times the weight that it normally is. But you all are up and you all have a long rest. You may all mark that on your sheets.
All right. Did that? All right. Remember, I guess.
You guys pick up camp. Wonus goes, I think from here, Iliad should probably lead. She's, at this point, probably the one in charge. Again, remember, they will test you. Don't resist, or it will be worse for you. We'll be there in a couple of hours.
All right. Blitzkrieg will take that to make sure he doesn't kill anyone. Okay, cool.
As you guys travel along, can I get everyone to make a perception check? As you hear the dogs begin to howl.
The desert dogs. Ah, yes. The desert dogs. Always hounding, following us. Always a step behind, but you never see them.
What is
They're
this
always
perception?
Perception.
Perception. Can I go with my passive?
You cannot.
13.
24.
Game.
You guys travel for an hour, 2 hours. The sands begin to slope downward, which is intimidating, maybe isn't the right word for it, but it throws you off because the mountains, which already looked very tall, get taller as you descend the 150 foot dunes that begin to slope down towards the edge of the mountains. As you get to the bottom, you see that there is a fissure in the ground that you would not notice unless you came from specifically this direction. As you get closer and closer to this fissure, you see that there is a ladder that descends down into it. Iliad turns to you and goes, "All right, down the ladder. I'll go first, then the rest of you follow. Wonus bring at the end." She begins to head down. You all begin to follow.
For Wonus,
No, Wonus is waiting till the end. Iliad
oh,
goes
who's
down
this right now?
first.
Elliot? Okay, I'll follow.
You guys all
I'll look
begin-
at my team
You guys all go?
for confirmation to make sure everyone is going along, and if they are, then I'll definitely move along.
Okay.
If anyone stops, I'll probably like question then, like, you know.
So you guys all begin to descend. And you guys go for 10, 20, 30 minutes. And you're not sure how far down you've climbed. But eventually, you reach the bottom. And there is a square, more rectangular, sandstone walled room with one door that exits. You watch as Iliad goes over, knocks on the door. You hear a muffled voice from behind go, "Ugh." Iliad goes, "'Tis I, Iliad, Ma Griernaz, and Wonus. We have brought outsiders that need testing, and we have much to report." You hear the grumbled voices from behind the wall. Iliad turns to you and goes, "Wait here. You will probably have to wait for quite some time. He's going to go tell the council, and they will bring someone back to test you. We will wait here with you." The quiet begins to set in. As you are all in this room, you kind of hear the wind kind of whistling away, wail up ahead of that fissure that you guys had traveled hundreds of feet below. As you guys sit here in this room, is there anything you do or say to any of the people around you?
I think like Blitzkrieg will probably look at like for one last time to look at Bonus, just like an insight to see like does he look like he's shifty, you know, kind of like I just like
Go ahead and make an insight check.
a feeling, you know, that weird feeling. 16 insight.
You immediately can tell that he feels uneasy being... Well, you're not entirely sure why he feels uneasy, but he definitely feels uneasy and is constantly glancing around.
Can I glance around too? Like whatever he's seeing, like what am I seeing?
As you kind of follow his eyes and look around, it just seems like he's looking at the walls, the ladder, up out of the fissure, back to the walls, the ladder.
What is going through his mind? I don't know. I'll probably just go along with it, but I'll be kind of wary, but I feel safe around my squad, so I'll just progress as normal.
Going around the room, the rest of you just waiting in silence.
Yeah, I'm just watching how this plays out.
Okay.
Where's my moorbounder in all of this?
What would you have done with them?
I would have taken him in if I could.
Well, it's a long ladder. Is your moorbounder able to climb hundreds of feet of ladder?
Probably not.
The answer to that
That's
question
why I was
is no.
asking how long.
Yeah, so hundreds of feet down. So if you would have again made a stink at this at the top, Ma would have turned to you and go, "There are other ways in. If you are accepted, we can come back for him. I would just leave him up here for now."
Will he be safe?
She looks up at the mountains. He seems like a very ferocious creature, but I do not know. I will not guarantee its safety. The mountains have very terrible creatures as well.
I'll take some rope, and I'll basically hand it to Rin. It's like, he will be fine. He's strong. Because I remember, like, he actually went up and protected him back then.
I tell my moorbounder that I will be back for him and to sit tight and defend himself if necessary, but don't go looking for trouble.
Okay. Just
I will give him a steak.
settles down in the sand.
And I give him some rations.
I knock away your rations and I give him a steak.
Okay.
How dare you?
That works.
How dare you? Anyway, go carry on.
Very good. So then you were again able to make your way down. Iliad looks at you and goes, "Silence is killing me. Just want to play a game or something to pass the time."
What is the delay? Why can't we enter?
It's quite a ways back to where the council would sit. It's probably going to be a few hours before we get a response.
Hard work. Well, what about? Do you guys have any prints for your friends? The ones that got left behind.
Sorry, did you say pranks?
Friends.
Yeah, I know our friends, the ones that were left behind, but what? I'm sorry, what did you ask if I had?
Sorry, did you have plans?
Oh,
Are you coming up?
plans.
Plans.
It's going to be part of our report, but I personally would like to get back out there, and Wonus goes, "You know I'm not gonna just let them take her." Ma kind of sits quietly.
But once
Just
we are in
curious.
agreement, we will need to either save her or we need to assassinate her to make sure no information is leaked.
Wonus kind of springs up. She's not gonna leak any fucking information. She's not like that.
I hope you're right then.
Always fucking right. Always right. He kind of just sits off to the side. Actually, he probably goes up to the door, knocks on it again, and goes, "Oh, just let me the fuck out of here. I don't need to wait with these people." And door opens and he leaves.
Oh shit. What do we see before us?
Yeah, make a quick perception check if you want to look through the door as it's opened up real quick.
I'm gonna peek through as well with him.
Yeah. Anybody who has proficiency in perception, or if your name is Blitzkrieg.
I got 19.
I got a 20 as I stared through and look into this and take in every little aspect of what we're dealing with here, including the towers and the people who's manning it.
You are just perfectly able to see through this door as it opens up, and every speck of tunnel wall that you're able to see from your view is indicating that this is a 5-foot wide tunnel that goes somewhere. But that's it. You do see that there is it looks like 2 fairly well armed humans that let him go through, that are on the other side of the door.
Okay. Do they let us in too, or
They do not.
what is this?
I turned it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, that's basically all he says. What is this?
Iliad goes, he has already been tested. He does not need to be. We are simply spending the time here with you as a courtesy.
Then test us. We will pass. We will win. We will.
And as you kind of take that like more aggressive stance, you see as the door opens again. And this time I think anybody who has spent any time in the Apadora Empire, but also Reek, you recognize this race as a Kenku. They have black eyes, very, very shiny black feathers, 5 feet tall, but very portly build. The eyes kind of are like moving out of sync with each other, kind of almost cross-eyed and impulsive.
A chunky Kenku?
Yeah, and so he kind of comes in, goes, "Well, hello, all of you. It is good to see so many newcomers. I have already been informed that you perhaps are important, but I first must test you. As a proper introduction, I am Frederick. I am one of the Council of 15. Is anybody proficient in religion in this group?
Cleric raises his hand.
Go ahead and roll a religion check.
Guy who makes a living stealing stuff is proficient in religion.
No, he's a merchant, all right?
There's
He's
all
not a
kinds.
pirate. There's a difference, all right?
Hey, you gotta know him if
13.
you're gonna try and scam him.
How much?
13.
13.
19.
With a 13,
Another-
you just feel power radiating off of this person. You can't really place it. With the 19, however, you haven't interacted with a lot of these types of creatures, but you have the smell of where you used to work in the gardens by the graveyard. It seems like something's musty.
What does that mean?
Frederick continues and goes, "Well, who's first?"
Yeah, that's me. Curious.
Alright, he kind of moves the rest of you away from Temin and kind of scooches you with his feathers, goes, "Move back, move back."
I'll step back.
Right. He goes, "Oh, sit down right here. Sit down. You watch as he looks at the ground in between you, and he essentially whispers a word, and a bonfire erupts in between the two of you. Goes, just for a little bit of light and some heat. And then he kind of looks at you and goes, all right, for me to test you, I need to make sure that you are trustworthy. I'm going to ask you many questions, answer them truthfully, and do not resist. We'll be casting magic throughout. Do you have any questions?
Do I get my own questions? Or is this my only one?
You may ask your own questions, but I am not obligated to answer anything until you have been deemed worthy.
That's fair.
You ready?
Ready.
What is your name?
Tevin Thorncrest.
Why are you here?
To install the rightful king of the Apadora Empire.
If given a large sum of money, is there anyone you would not betray?
This sounds like a trick question. Is there amount of money I would accept to betray anyone? Is the basic question, right?
Answer how you will.
I would not betray anyone for any amount of money. When I make friends,
Wow. Okay.
it's to the death.
Damn. Okay.
Looks you over and goes, last question. What are you willing to do for the Costino cause?
Like, what are my boundaries?
Answer instinctively.
I won't do anything that goes against my own personal creed. But beyond that, I'll do whatever it takes for what I think is right.
Let's test that. And you watch as the Kenku in front of you, again dark black in nature, begins to kind of move his hands in a very systematic pattern. You watch as he pulls a white feather out of his cloak, and out of the other side a bloody organ of some sort. He takes the feather and stabs the organ, and is going to cast fear on you, and only you. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
What is happening?
Against being frightened.
Correct.
Ooh, somebody has advantage against that.
Ooh, Hefling's strong.
Which he may need. Was it wisdom?
Oh, and also you can choose to fail this if you wish. You cannot resist.
Oh, is this that? Okay.
Yeah, again, you don't have to resist, but he did tell you he was going to be casting magic.
Okay, yeah. No, that's fine. If that is, this is that, then I will. Oh.
But he is casting a spell on you.
Yeah, I'll opt to fail.
Okay. You become overwhelmed with fear, specifically of this Kenku, but you watch as it morphs into other things. You watch as your own face looks back at you, and then it flashes to seeing that face decapitated on a pike. You watch as it then goes and flashes to dragons just melting the countryside around you. You watch as people around you, your friends, turn their backs and move into other directions and betray you and do not exist past this. And you take a moment and you take all of this in. And he asks you one question through all of these visions and says, "Are you willing to face your fear?"
Been facing my fears since I was a little kid. I'm ready to face my next ones.
Make a wisdom
you will.
save.
Just straight wisdom save, or is this being frightened again?
This is against being frightened, so you still have the advantage against it.
19.
You are able to feel the tether of magic that causes this, and as he tells you to face your fear, what do you do or say or look like as you snap out of these visions?
Sneak attack. Just kidding.
I am going to think about all the times that they've helped me when I've gotten knocked down, but got back up again because of them. That just because their backs are to me, it doesn't mean that they are betraying me, but that they may be putting themselves between me and what is out there.
I like it. So as that vision is kind of forced into the realm of thought that you are using in this, the way in which to see the positives of what could be this situation, you kind of shake yourself, and Frederick looks at you and goes, "Did not expect you to be as open for one of your kind. Welcome, Costanino. The council still needs to speak to you, but you are welcome inside. You may stay here and wait for your companions, or you may go through the door."
Oh, wait.
Very well. Who is next?
I'll go next.
What is your name? As you sit down next to the bonfire.
My name is Aoth Smith.
Why are you here, Aoth Smith?
I'm here seeking allies to reclaim the throne.
Why do you wish the throne?
The usurper had my father murdered, and many people who I've met in this brief journey so far have felt the thumb of oppression, whether he's murdered their species or enslaved them economically and brought harm to the kingdom.
So this is revenge for you then?
This is peace-seeking.
So when you usurp this usurper, what makes you think he'll be a better ruler than he?
The priority will be for the kingdom's prosperity and the people's well-being. A king who serves his people, not one that oppresses them to serve him and gain from their enslavement. whether they believe it's enslavement or not.
So, if there is one more qualified than you, would you give up the throne to them?
I would consider it.
You watch as this Kenku begins to once again kind of move his hands, speak words, pulls out a bit of fleece that then rapidly expands, and all of a sudden you feel this pressure in your brain. Are you resisting?
No.
You watch as a scene before you of just a plethora of warriors on a battlefield, just stretching out as far as you can see in every direction. You see that among those warriors, you stand at the front and your vision comes back to a first-person view. You stand there as you watch a ancient red dragon fly over the land towards you, its jaw coming down and just smashing onto you and biting you. Go ahead and make an intelligence save for me.
That's my worst one. 8.
Oh, shit.
You are jarred from this vision as you take 8 psychic damage. You now sit before Frederick, and he looks at you and goes, "May be willing to take shots, damage. You may be able to withstand pain. What are you willing to sacrifice of others?" And you watch as he turns to Rin, and he holds up a hand, and you watch as a ball of ice begins to form in his hand as he points it towards, or excuse me, not a ball of ice, like a ball of black, kind of like necrotic energy, and he looks right at Rin and goes, "Are you willing to sacrifice his life for your dream?"
Is this all in his head, or do we actually see it too?
No, you see it.
I
So
think I'll
we've been
go-
able to see and hear everything on all this.
Not the vision parts, but this is not part of the vision. He was knocked out of the vision.
But all the questions he was asking
Yes.
and everything else, right?
Correct.
I think like Blitzkrieg would go into like a more defensive position around the adjudicator, as they are kind of important to him. So, it's like, yeah, what is this?
He doesn't flinch.
I'll put my hand on my sword's hilt and my answer. This is a tall order and a tall task, and sacrifices will be made. There's no need to sacrifice him for the sake of a test. Put him down.
You watch as the magic dissipates from the Kenku's hand, and he goes, "It's interesting that you can see this. We will see if you can make those tough decisions in the moment. You are trustworthy, and we would, of course, prefer the heir of the Apadora Empire in our midst." And he kind of gestures that you have passed and can kind of go with Temin.
Thank you. I release the hilt. It slides back into its sheath, makes a little clink.
You
I go back.
points at Rin. "Why don't you go first?"
What did he say? Like, I think you cut off.
Rin. Yes, he is not here. Reek.
Sorry, I was talking. I had my thing was muted.
Okay, no worries. He gestures to Rin.
Yes.
Sit down.
What questions do you have?
What is your name?
Ritel.
Why are you here?
My crew kind of abandoned themselves and was looking for a new home, and so stumbled across these guys. They seem like a cool group, and could use my services. So having fun along the way. I mean, I believe in the righteous cause, but that's originally why I'm here.
Looks at you and goes, so you have no real bonds or reasons to help.
I kind of look at my wrist, and it's only been a couple of weeks here, but not as bonded as one can be in 2 weeks. I would say I am.
So what skills do you bring then that are so needed?
The skill to pass judgment on life or death situations, basically, being able to bring back people from the dead if need be.
You watch as the black eyes that are kind of wandering all over the place kind of both focus in on you for a moment. A long moment. And you watch as it's almost like they're trying to look through you. And then they go, and who gives you the right to pass judgment?
I smile and look at him and go, my daddy.
Interesting. Go ahead, if you would. And as he begins to kind of move his hands about once again, you watch as this time he pulls a gemmed skull out from underneath his robe, and he sets it on the ground, and he goes, how can you pass judgment if your enemy is no longer alive? Do you still have the power?
Not currently, but I will. Spare the dying on the skull.
Go ahead and go ahead and make just a
You catch that?
an Arcana check. You there?
Hello.
There we
Hello. Ah, yeah.
Rin, go ahead and make a intelligence check.
go. Okay.
Or excuse me, Arcana check. Arcana check.
It's the same thing. Alright, so I cast that. I didn't catch what you said after that.
I didn't say anything after that.
Okay. So
What is the Arcana check?
-1. I have a -2 and I rolled a natural 1.
Fuck, man. Bro.
Yeah, yeah, you just watch as he just doesn't understand basically what to read with you, and he goes, "You is the word for it. You have too many shrouds, too many layers of deception. Tell me, what do you hide, or I will find out for myself."
Anything. I told you. Told you who my dad was.
Who is your father?
Arwen.
Arwen.
Make a persuasion check. And anybody who is proficient in religion, roll a religion check.
I mean, I'm not really trying to persuade him. I'm telling him the truth. But 12.
Well,
Religion is only a 7.
okay. Yeah, the name doesn't strike anything to you. Anybody else with religion?
Nope, I don't.
Isn't that the stone that you carry, though? The one that you wanted in the middle of your chest plate?
Yeah, that was my dad's.
Wait,
So-
me?
No, because I'm recalling a previous conversation, so I'm gonna follow up on that after this
Yeah, Ma
is
goes,
done.
because Ma's still sitting in the room, she goes, "But Arwen, that's a god. Are you saying you're the son of a god?"
Yep.
What?
What? What?
What?
Why are we trying to get a king here when we've got a demigod? Or
Seriously, is the son of a god?
Next
Question
week,
mark?
we're gonna find out that Blitz is a god. This
Hey.
party just gets weirder every week.
I am the High Father.
Is there a bar in this city?
Blitzkrieg is actually a planet.
All of the chaos of people like chatting and such about after this kind of information rises, you watch as Frederick doesn't flinch at all and just looks you over and goes, I do not doubt your words, but I do doubt your intentions. You say that you wish to cast judgment on life and death. But what if we do not agree with your judgment?
Tough? I don't know what to tell you on that one. I mean, my judgment comes with guidance. It's not just from nowhere. I mean, it comes from my wisdom.
He looks at you and goes, "The weapon you carry,
Yeah.
where did you get it?"
From a dungeon?
Dungeon. Which one?
Was it from a dungeon? Yeah, it was. This dungeon where I got my Moorbounder.
Do you know which dungeon it was? Which deity it calls to?
Oh shit! I turn to the artificer in the room. And I go, "What was the name of that god? It was the god of nature or something."
What?
Uh,
What are you talking about?
there was a symbol. No, it was very bad nature. It was the
You hear Ma whisper, the Devourer?
Devourer.
Yeah.
We didn't. If I recall correctly, we got that one in town before we left. Before we left, when we went on our sponsored shopping.
And
Yeah,
that's what my thought was too.
I
I
think
was
the
just
only
putting in
thing
the
we
chat.
captured
Oh
was
yeah,
the
you're right.
unknown
Yeah, we
sentinel in
didn't.
my goggles.
Yeah, you're right. No, I didn't get it from there. I did. You're right. I did get it from the shopping thing. Yeah, we bought it.
From who? Where?
I turned to the party. What was the guy's name?
It feels like
It
that
was a
was ages
female.
ago.
I don't know the origins of my weapon. I will tell you that. I can tell you that my weapon is not very good natured.
Yes, this I can tell already. Also, looks
But
like
it doesn't influence me.
it does not influence you.
Not to
So
my
he
knowledge.
says. So he says.
How about this then? I will offer you a deal. I trust the words that you say, but again, your intentions worry me. How about you may enter, but your weapon must stay in my care, or you may stay here until the rest of your party has met the council.
I mean, do you want to trade the weapon with something for me? Because I'd happily do so.
You will not need a weapon while you are within these walls, and if you do need a weapon, then a trade may be made. In fact, we may give this weapon back to you. However, I wish to inspect it first.
Yeah, sure.
Also have to take a super quick break to be like, thank you, 30 followers. We finally hit the goal that we were going to. So thank you guys all for that. Really appreciate it.
Look at that.
So thank you. But let's finish this up strong. So, he then looks at you and goes, but we still have 2 more. And he looks at Reek, and he looks at Blitzkrieg and goes, who will be next?
I'll look at Reek.
I'll go.
Come forward then. Sit.
I do that.
He goes, what is your name?
My name is Reek.
Why are you here?
Similar to Natal, I found a group of people, happened across them, started adventuring together, and built a bond.
What do you want from the Costino?
I'm not sure. Don't really have any particular drives.
What are your skill sets then? Do you also choose between life and death?
Only in the sense that I'm capable of killing.
Is this what you wish to be used for? As a killer?
Not particularly. I'm not averse to it. The situation calls for it.
Well, I can tell you, if you wish to enter here and you wish to become a part of the Costino, then killing will probably be what you are used for.
That seems to be my best suited feature, so long as I agree with the motivations.
Soldier may not always get that choice, but we will see. Sit tight for one moment, and you watch as he begins to mutter and pull out a bit of fur and a dark piece of like sticky blackish brownish like ichor, and he takes a piece of black stone and kind of begins to rub them all together, and everybody in the room watches as a dark circle expands and enwraps around Reek. Reek, do you have dark vision?
Do not.
Your limited sight already becomes pitch black as you are now wrapped up within this darkness. And you hear Frederick go, even in the darkest of times, if you wish to be among us, you must know that your senses are strong, or you have no use to us if they are not. Point to the door. Can you go ahead and make either an intelligence check or a perception check with disadvantage, and tell me what the result is.
Working on that. Ooh. Dang it. Nat 20 and a 14. Well, that's a 18 with modifier, so 18 versus a nat 20.
You have perfect recall of where the door is, and understand even if you have not moved, you have a very good sense of where it would be, even though you cannot see it. So as he asks you this question, what do you do?
I point to the direction of the door.
He looks at you carefully and goes, he snaps a finger and the darkness dissipates. He goes, you will be quite useful, I believe. And he guides you over to those who he has deemed as past. And he goes, and finally, and the Kenku looks at Blitzkrieg and goes, I have not ever seen one of your race here. I have been told that you have quite powerful minds. Is this true?
I'll talk to him like telepathically. Like, yes. As are all the Kreen. We are one mind.
Looks back at you and goes, what is your name?
Blitzkrieg. Oh, do you want to know my real name? Let's see. What the fuck is my real name? Let's see. Yeah, it's Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg.
He looks at you and goes, why are you here?
I'm here to protect my Blade Warden.
Do you gesture at who they are, or do you just say the name?
I think I'll I'll kind of look his way, Aof.
Okay. He goes, what will you do if you cannot succeed at this?
He's kind of perplexed at the question. It's like, failure? Huh. Explain yourself. What do you mean?
I could easily kill him right now, and you would not be able to do a thing about it.
Try.
You watch as the beak kind of like lifts in a smile. And he goes, it is not necessary. Your tenaciousness. He goes, your tenaciousness is evidence enough of what I need. Come. He passes you much faster than everyone else, it seems, but just seems to be completely enveloped in your answer. And so he looks back at Ren at this point and goes,
he understands like the one-track mind of a Kreen. Okay, cool.
He looks back at Ren and goes, well, your companions have passed and we have walking to do. Will you relinquish the weapon?
As long as you promise me you're not going to take it forever.
He extends his hand for it. Do you give it over?
Yeah.
Are you able to? I don't remember the designations of your weapon. It's been a bit.
Yeah.
I think Blitzkrieg in the background will probably be like, just let it go. I sense something in that weapon and it is not right.
Can I roll insight on all what's been going on?
Yeah.
With the whole smells like a graveyard thing.
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
That's a bingo.
It's a bingo.
What's the bingo?
24.
So
Oh,
natural
shit.
20.
Natural. Yeah.
You've been paying a lot of attention since your first test, and you notice that this Kenku seems faster, stronger. They're not human. And you go back to that graveyard smell. Again, you've never been in the presence of one, but you have a feeling that this could be an undead.
Whoa, what?
I would like to use my channel or Eyes of the Grave.
You don't feel that. This is only.
I don't feel that he's
feels
undead.
this. Temin is the only one who has kind of an incited feeling
Okay.
about this.
Oh, I thought you said with religion I did too.
You didn't roll high enough. He did. You only rolled a 13. He rolled a 19.
Yeah, scrub.
Gotcha. Alright.
Is there anything you do with that information, Temin?
Not currently. It's definitely going to be shared, but just not.
Yeah. So he reaches out, takes the mace from Rin, and goes, well, let us walk then. He turns through the door and begins to lead you all down a tunnel.
Before I hand him the mace, I'd like to roll an insight check and see if I could trust this guy.
Go ahead.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Before I hand him the mace,
in which
I'm not.
ways do you want to know that you can trust him? Like trust is kind of a really odd thing for somebody you just met. Like, trust them to what? Not give you back, or like to give you back your weapon? Trust them to not kill you? Like what?
Both ways, yeah. I mean, are they trustworthy in general?
You get the feeling that they will not. They are not openly hostile to you.
They're not openly hostile, but do I think they're going to give me back the weapon, or?
You think that he plans to keep his word unless other information presents itself.
I don't know, like maybe like the weapon is has a demon in it.
Okay.
Oh, good man. Just go with the flow.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Oh, good.
I'll give it to him.
That extra long kind of waited period, he kind of looks you in the eye and goes, so a king and a demigod. This is going to be an interesting meeting. And he turns and begins to walk down the tunnel. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hey, great session, guys. And thank you guys again for 30 subscribers. We are, not subscribers, excuse me, 30 followers.
30.
We are making pace here, and just in time for the Kickstarter too. So thanks, Final Dark Joker, for hanging out and chilling, sending the hype in the chat. We always appreciate that.
Woo.
And we will be back next Thursday doing another session here, and we'll get to see what Carcino is all about.
Yay, back to weeklies.
Woohoo!
Yeah. More wine. Carcino. Okay, Carcino.